They were getting up early in Como today. Eli Drinkwitz and his Missouri Tigers not looking back. They are looking forward at their next opponent inside on Faurot Field tonight in Columbia. Hey, so far, it's a pretty day in Columbia, Missouri for some football. Missouri and Abilene Christian, a good test, a good tune-up for Missouri before they hit SEC play next week. Let's go. It's time for some football. Courtney Lyle alongside former Missouri defensive coordinator Dave Steckel. Tamara Brown is down on the sidelines for us today. And Steck, look, this Missouri team, they're not happy with what happened last week against K-State. They want to get ready for SEC play starting next week. And I know a lot of eyes are going to be on their quarterback, Brady Cook, today.
Absolutely. Nobody likes losing. So that's number one. But Brady Cook, he has the things to progress his program forward. Now, what the key's going to be is, like, on Twitter, everybody wants to be verified.
Yep.
Well, the position group that has to be verified today is the offensive line. Coach Johnson does a really good job of coaching that offensive line. They got to get fundamentally sound as they move into SEC play next week. So today they got to make a statement.
All right, so eyes being on Brady Cook and on that offensive line. We'll see how they hold up against Abilene Christian today. A lot of positive. They've been trying to keep it positive in practice this week. And, yeah, Abilene Christian is an FCS opponent, but they've got some momentum. They are 2-0 for the first time since 2013, and they've got a new head coach.
They do have momentum, and that head coach is a rock star. Keith Patterson. The thing I love about him is he started from the ground up. He was a high school coach, became a head coach, went to a group of 5, became a coordinator group of 5, went to the BCS. Now he gets to run his own program. And I'll tell you what, he's a great motivator, and he knows how to get these kids going in the right direction. And the 2-0 start shows that.
Look, all you have to do is talk to Keith Patterson for 1 minute, and you're ready to go. Last night's meeting was so much fun with him.
It was. Let's go play.
So Missouri will kick off first to Abilene Christian. Missouri won the coin toss and elected to defer to the second half.
Tigers won the toss, deferred to the second half, kicking off number 90, Sean Kennedy. Back in for Abilene Christian, number 24, Tyrese White.
And so this kick goes well out of the end zone. So we will get to see first Abilene Christian coming up. They'll come out on offense. And this is a team, as we mentioned, 2-0. They with wins over Lamar and Prairie View A&M. So the first time ever they've been 2-0, winning against 2 Division I opponents. And we're going to see Maverick McIver at the quarterback for position for Abilene Christian.
Maverick, he's got to be like Tuck Gun Maverick. Got to come out, got to be poised, get his ball out as quick because his defensive front's pretty good.
Handoff goes to Jeremiah Dobbins. He's one of 2 main backs that we'll see featured for Abilene Christian, and he picks up 5 yards on the play, tackled by Christian Williams. Jeremiah Dobbins getting the start today. He was really good last week when the lights came on against Prairie View A&M, and that's what earned him the starting running back spot, and they'll go to the ground once again on second down.
They're coming out with tempo, Courtney. They got a nice big hole in the first zone play. Now what they're doing is they're going tempo here. They got a 3rd and 3 situation here. Watch for Maverick to get the ball out of his hands quick. Got to see if they shift their motion because they're coming out in an unbalanced line right now.
So he'll have 3 targets on the near side. Jeremiah Dobbins still in the backfield with him on 3rd and 3. They put Kobe Clark in motion, and they're looking Clark's way, reaches out, and the pass incomplete. Chris Abrams drain in on the coverage.
Throw just a little bit behind him right there. They had the corner out there on the flat, but it was a really well-designed stop by the Missouri Tigers. They put it in 4th and 4. And they got to punt the ball away. Not what Abilene Christian wanted to do.
Yeah, and we were talking to Missouri's defensive coordinator, Blake Baker. He said they wanted a faster start, so forcing a 3 and out on the first drive.
That's very good. Now what they have to do is translate that back over to the offense and have them get some momentum going down there.
So in the punt return game, there has been a competition at returner this week on the Missouri side, and you see Luther Burden back there. First time he'll be back returning for Missouri, a very highly touted wide receiver, the top receiver in his class, and he takes it on the hop. Look at Luther Burden go! Luther Burden to the house!
That's one way to get the crowd into it.
Missouri has been waiting to see what Luther Burden can do.
Luther Burden is something special. A lot of talk, not putting him back there on punts earlier. Coach Drinkowitz said, hey, we're going to give this guy a shot. Eric Link, the special teams coordinator. And the thing that was beautiful about that was the wall set up on their bench.
A 78-yard return for a touchdown for Luther Burden. Hello, freshman.
Not the start Abilene Christian wanted, but it is the start that Eli Drinkowitz wanted to start with. You know, we talked to Coach Baker before, Coach Drinkowitz. They said, we got to start fast, finish strong. That's a fast start.
Harrison Mevis, the very reliable kicker for Missouri, on and boots it up. And Missouri with a 7-point lead so quickly. Luther Burden, hello, number 3, going all the way in on the punt return.
What a start, what a start.
Hi, can you hear me?
Well, back here after an exciting start for Missouri. A 78-yard punt return for a touchdown. And that's exactly what Missouri was looking for, a little momentum after a disappointing last week.
Beautiful momentum starting. Start fast, we just talked about it before the break. Now they got to come back out and go 3 and out.
So this will be a touchback. And Missouri's defense was able to force a quick 3 and out. That was the first start they were looking for. What did you think of Missouri's defense last week against K-State?
In spots, they played dynamic. Other times, they lost their gap control. They got some big plays early in the second half on the run game. They got to shore up their gaps, and they got to get off blocks.
So we'll see what kind of adjustments Abilene Christian can make. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Maverick McIver back on to lead this Abilene Christian offense. And off a play action, they'll throw it out to Kobe Clark. Taken down just short of the 30-yard line. He was stopped by Joseph Charleston, the transfer from Clemson. And now Kobe Clark, we're watching his numbers because now he just needs 2 more catches to move into second on the all-time receptions list at Abilene Christian.
That young man has really good hands. You see they went trips to the one side. They're going trips again here. Look for the zone read or another bubble situation. Oh, they're going unbalanced here.
Dobbins still in the backfield with McIver, airing it out over the top of the field, and the pass was tipped up in the air. It was Chad Bailey, number 33, one of the captains for this Missouri team.
They did a nice job there where they went unbalanced. They looked like they were going the same formation with the trips. They shifted over to the unbalanced play, and instead of playing run, Bailey read his keys, tipped that ball because he was open in the seam there.
Bailey, an experienced player for Missouri, coming off a career season where he had 55 tackles and 5.5 tackles for loss. 3rd down and 6. Man in motion is Kobe Clark. McIver, off play action, trying to get his guy one-on-one. The corner gets tripped up, but the pass will be incomplete. It was intended for Kendall Catalon, the transfer from Arkansas. You might recognize that name. His brother plays at Arkansas. Jalen, unfortunately, injured and out for the rest of the season for Arkansas. But again, Missouri's defense stepping up here.
2 3 and outs. 2 3 and outs. Coach Baker's got to be fired up about that right now.
All right, so if you're Abilene Christian, you've got Luther Burden back.
I'm not punting it to him.
Yeah. Just took it 79 yards in his first career punt return.
They're lined up to come after a block here.
Logan Burke is the punter. They do kick away from Luther Burden. He's going to scoop it up anyway. Starts at the 25-yard line and taken down at the 35. Much better coverage for Abilene Christian's special teams. But this means for the first time we're going to get to see Brady Cook and this Missouri Tiger offense go to work.
We are. And let me tell you something. He's a young freshman, but he made a smart play on that punt by scooping it up. Because back when you used to study all these special things, when you don't feel the punt and it's rolling, you lose 15 yards. He got a little scoop and got +8 for him. So they're not bad field position right here, Courtney.
So here comes Brady Cook, the Missouri native, won the starting job in fall camp. We did see Jack Abraham come in for him last week after throwing a couple of picks against K-State, but Cook is their guy, and he is back out on the field, working in the pistol this time with 3 targets to his right side. He'll turn around and hand this off on the first play.
Number 8,
Nathaniel Pete with the carry.
It's easy to call plays when you're up by 7 and it's only your first series. Settling Brady down, I would anticipate the run game like we just saw, probably a little bit more run game, but short controlled pass game.
And again, as we talked about, Steck, you're watching the play of this offensive line today. That's going to be huge for Missouri moving forward. Second down, Pete is the guy again. Cuts back inside, takes it to the 45-yard line, still in Missouri territory, but that should be good. Oh, maybe just a few inches short of that first down.
They got 3rd inches. That's an interesting play. We used to call that the jag play. They pulled the tackling guard to the field, but handed the ball off to the boundary, trying to make the linebackers flow over top there. Good design.
Cook pulls it. Going to the near side. Did he get enough? Maybe just enough to move the chains, and he did. He took it right to the 45-yard line before Abner Dubar was there for ACU.
He did. I think that was his first bad decision today. He pulled the ball on that zone read concept. If he gave it, there was a nice hole by that offensive line to get the yardage.
So far, it's been the ground game for Missouri. They set up 1st and 10 from their own 45. Play action, quick little pass out in the flat to Luther Burden III. And Eli Drinkwitz talked about getting more creative to get Burden involved in the offense more this week.
That was a creative play. Here's why. They just ran that play for a big run on the counter and the jack play off it. They ran the exact same design out of the 3x1 and threw a bubble out there to Luther. Comes a jet sweep out on balance.
And they give it up to Burden. And ACU ready for it. Drop for a loss on the play. Torrey Hargrove.
They snuffed that out right. What I noticed on that play, they went kind of fast with the snap, Courtney. And Abilene Christian didn't roll the coverage to the unbalanced side, so they had more bodies over here to the nub side than they needed.
Loss of 1 on the play brings up 3rd and 6. Empty look here. Brady Cook running out of time, the pocket collapsing on him, and the pass batted up in the air. Tyron Bradley, the WAC Defensive Player of the Week after 10 tackles last week against Prairie View A&M. He got a hand on it.
I walked around pregame on the field and saw that young man. He is a stud. Plays the ball well. The other thing you saw on the tip pass, that was an opposite hand block. So your right-handed quarterback, left hand gets up and taps the ball. The other thing real quick is that dig route was wide open, and that's his favorite route, but he missed it.
Kendall Catalan back to return this punt, and he calls for the fair catch. Oh, on the 1.
Those are the kind of things, Courtney, that make you crazy as a coach. Nice kick by Ketting. Should never catch that football back on after the 8-yard line. Got to get a decision.
So we want to take a look at this last play because Kendall Catalan called for the fair catch, but you look at where his feet go, he may have stepped into the end zone, which would have been a touchback. They ruled him down at the 1.
Courtney, first of all, he made a bad decision because you never go after the football. You put your heels at 8 and you never back up, number 1. Number 2, not only did his foot touch, I'm pretty sure the ball crossed. They should have this ball on the 20-yard line. They should review this play, and I think they put that ball on the 20-yard line if they reviewed it, because now they're in a very disadvantaged situation here.
So nevertheless, this is where the ball is. It's on the 1 yard line for Abilene Christian's third drive, and they'll try to run it out of their own end zone. That's Jeremiah Dobbins.
You know what they did there? They went out in 13 personnel, which means 1 back and 3 tight ends, and they put the strength into the boundary and ran that zone play. They're trying to outmuscle them a little bit.
Now, when we talked to Stephen Lee, their offensive coordinator, he really liked the trio of tight ends that they have. So you might see some 13 personnel pretty frequently today.
Especially in those short yardage situations here.
2nd and 4. McIver had to track that snap down and then found himself in the end zone, threw it away. 3rd down.
They wanted to come back with a split zone / I call it the away play, where the tight end comes across and they hand it back to the back going the other way. And the snap created that he had to throw that thing away. That was a designed run. Watch for him getting the ball out of his hands quick here on 3rd down, Courtney. 3-step type of drop. Get his hand out quick. You see they're uncovered up at the top. Well, they're not uncovered anymore.
McIver is 1 for 5 with 4 yards in this game. Missouri's beat defense has been tough, and they'll hand it off. It's Dobbins. Dobbins down the sideline, steps back inside the field to pick up just a few more yards before Jalen Carlisle got there, and he's marked down just inside the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 22 yards.
And here they go tempo now. They got a big 1st down. They're going tempo, so they can't sub.
Darius Robinson in on the stop as Dobbins gets the handoff again.
I like Darius Robinson. He works. He is a worker. He's tough and physical down inside that A gap.
How do you expect Abilene Christian to use that tempo? Will we see it a lot, do you think?
I think it's going to be like driving a car, talking to Coach Lee.
Yeah.
He's going to put the gas on,
Yeah.
and then he's going to use the brake, then he's going to hit a green light, a red light. You know, he's going to be really cautious at the end of the day, though, with that yellow light.
If I'm in that car, I may be car sick, Coach. Maverick McIver was trying to get Tristan Golightly, but he stepped out of bounds and then came back into bounds. Ennis Rakestraw Jr. was on him.
That was close to our sideline. I could not tell if he was pushed out of bounds or stepped out of bounds. If he's pushed out of bounds, he can go back in and make that thing.
Yes, let's take another look at this.
No penalty on the play. First down.
It's hard to tell. You don't see the contact before. The first time that we see Tristan Golightly, the transfer from Kansas, was when he was out of bounds, but they must have felt like he was forced out.
The officials did a good job, because when the official throws his hat down, that means he stepped out, and the other official came out and said, no, he was pushed out of bounds.
So the pass is complete. It's a pickup of 23 yards, so a couple of big plays. Remember, Abilene Christian starting this drive basically in their own end zone on the 1. McIver in trouble. Pressure coming. He lets it fly just in time, but Trajan Jeffcoat in his face.
Nice play by the defensive front again. That's a counter O-wide play. And if he's reading that play, he should have given it, because the hole was there, because they got upfield on the pass play.
Yeah, so it was number 18, Trajan Jeffcoat, who got in the face of Maverick McIver.
Talking to Coach Lee here now, 2nd down. He's got to get it in manageable. This is called get back on track here.
This has been the most productive drive for Abilene Christian today. First time they're in Missouri territory. Jeremiah Dobbins stuck that arm out, got himself past the 30.
Dobbins did a nice job there. What they're doing is they're going 3 by 1. They're putting trips to the field, and they have a nub side. What do I mean by a nub side? There's only a guard, tackle, and tight end on the backside. That's putting the corner in a situation where he's got to tackle. The linebacker escaped, missed a tackle, and that's twice now they hit him this big play on the same thing. They got to shore up that C gap over here on the backside, Courtney.
So we may have an injured player on this near sideline. It's hard to tell from Missouri. And it was Darius Robinson from Missouri. So you hate to see that, because he's one of the leaders on this team. He battled injuries last season, ended up starting the last 5 games for Mizzou, but has come back as a key piece for this defense.
He did. I think what happened on the last play, because they ran zone over back to the C gap. What do I mean by C gap? That's the gap between the tackle and the tight end. and I think what they did is they scooped on the backside and got his ankle. He's going to be all right. He's over there getting a little drink of water. Maybe he was just thirsty.
Yeah, it is a hot one today.
I know.
I think the expected temperature was around 90 degrees, so here we go. First time we're seeing Malachi Medlock in the backfield for Abilene Christian. They'll stack a couple of receivers on that far side, and he just goes right up the middle. Solid run for Malachi Medlock, a freshman out of Duncanville, Texas.
Duncanville, that's a really good high school. Here comes your Temple again. They get that big play on second and 2.
And some miscommunication. Flags coming out.
That's what makes coaches crazy, Courtney. It's 2nd and 2. You go from 2nd and 2. They're going from 2nd and 2 to 2nd and 7. That's what makes you crazy as a coach. The run game. Here's what we go back about. We talked about at the end of the K-State game. They got to get gap control sound. Guys are getting out of their gaps.
Blake Baker told us.
Here comes the zone to the boundary or bubble to the field. Not no more. They just traded him.
They move Colt Cooper, the tight end, over to the top
Hello?
side of the
Can you hear me?
formation. And they'll swing it out
Hi.
to Davion Johnson. He bobbled it for a second. Martez Manuel there on the stop.
They did exactly what I said, except for they went to the unbalanced set and still threw that bubble out there. Now they're back to third, manageable.
At the 22-yard line.
ACU 1 for 3 on third down today.
We were talking to Coach. He said, here's where I like the rub routes. They're pretty spread out for a rub route. I'd anticipate running the football and or a quick slant.
Well, if they run it, Malachi Medlock is their guy. He's standing to the left of McIver. Look into the corner. Just off the fingertips of Blaine Taylor, Chris Abrams Drain in coverage.
That was twice now. They went to the 3-step concept, but they were throwing the fade because they got press coverage instead of running the slant.
5 at the 22.
Nice job by Drains defending that play there.
Field goal formation.
So Blair Zepeda will come on for the field goal. This will be a 39-yard attempt, and he is 0 for 3 on the season.
But he's at that magic 22.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the magic. He's right on the 22 here. Okay. So this should be 98% good. Let's see.
Magic 22, meaning percentage goes way up. Looking for his first made field goal of the season, and Zepeda holds true. So Abilene Christian on their third drive, their best drive of the day. They come away with 3 points here in Como.
So you're going to cue me.
Back here in Columbia, Missouri, Abilene Christian getting their first points of the day. And let's check in for the first time with Tamara Brown down on the sidelines.
Courtney, if you're wondering what the temperature is of this Tiger program coming off that loss to Kansas State, we talked to Coach Eli Drinkwitz, and he said, we can't change the outcome of what happened last week, but we can control our response moving forward. When you look at this game, they're looking at today's energy towards responding to that loss. They're also looking at next week going into SEC play. Also, Tasky Dove also said to the team before today's game, we're coming into this game with not just one chip on our shoulder, but 2.
Yeah, Tamara, I loved that line from Toski, and you heard Brady Cook talk about it in a press conference that, hey, there's things that we can do better, but we can't give up on each other, and we're going to come out here, have those 2 chips on our shoulder, and be ready, be hungry to get better and get ready for Auburn.
That's awesome. What they have to do is get those chips going, and they better double down right here because they got stopped on a 3 and out there. The only momentum they got going right now is that kickoff return. They got to get a drive here and get some confidence.
Yeah, the opening punt by Abilene Christian was returned 78 yards by Luther Burden for a touchdown. Those are Missouri's only points, and they stick to the ground game with Nathaniel Pete, tackle made by Anthony Egbo Jr. And that's going to be on Connor Wood of Missouri, so they'll take a step back.
Connor Wood, He's an old throwback guy now, I'm telling you. That guy loves football. He's one of those guys that has a mullet, should have a mohawk. You know, he's like lived out in the country somewhere for a couple years and comes out here. That guy loves football, but he's got to love it with his hands inside, not outside.
Talking with Eli Drinkwitz, they're looking for some consistency on this offensive line. They know they're going to need it moving forward. Remember, Connor Tollison, this is just his third game ever at center. He started training at the position in fall camp after they realized one of their transfers was not going to be eligible to play. Brady Cook taking his time over the top, and he connects with Mookie Cooper. Tackle made by Reese Young.
Spread them out that time. They ran the orbit motion. What they're doing with the orbit motion is they're checking to see if they're in man-to-man coverage. They didn't play a lot of man over at Abilene Christian. They were playing zone. He sat down in the middle of the thing. Brady right on the money.
Cook dropping back. He will let it fly. Dominic Lovett! The big plays keep coming for Missouri! 79 yards!
The old cliche as a defensive coordinator, you never want to hear the band play. And the band is playing right now.
They've been playing a couple of times. Two big plays, a 78-yard punt return for a touchdown and a 79-yard touchdown pass. Brady Cook to Dominic Lovett, his longest completion of the season. Hey, with that play too, Coach Steck, Dominic Lovett has already passed his receiving yards total from last season, and we're on game 3. This is a guy that's playing a bigger role for Missouri this year.
Dominic Lovett is a fast twitch guy. He's got speed, very good protection in the pocket, perfect throw on the money, and here you see his explosiveness as he comes down. The only thing I would tell you to coach that young man is you keep that ball locked away till you cross the end zone.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing quickly to talk about is Coach loves 5 explosive plays for half. He's already got 2. He's got the punt return, and he's got the big bomb. Explosive plays are things over 20 yards. Let's see how that progresses as the game goes on.
What did you think about the throw by Cook?
The reason why that was a throw is because the offensive line, who's trying to get verified today, did a very good job of setting the pocket. He could step up in there, see his receiver, and hit him deep. You got to credit the offensive line on that one.
2 plays.
I'm sure Coach Johnson's not smiling right now, but after the game, but that's a good play by his offensive line right there.
And Abilene Christian will let this one go. Want to remind you, our SEC football lineup will roll on today at 4 Eastern. Number 2, Alabama hosting ULM. Alabama squeaking out with a win over Texas last week. And then number 15, Tennessee, who went to Pitt and got a big win. An upset there, taking on Akron, Arkansas, and Missouri State. Those are also at 7 Eastern on SEC Network. Plus, you can cap the night with Florida taking on USF in the Swamp at 7:30 Eastern. That's on SEC Network. But, of course, every game streaming on the ESPN app.
I heard your voice go up a little bit when you mentioned Tennessee. I think you're in alum or something.
My volunteers, my alma mater. Handoff to Dobbins. He has been the main back featured. They've used him and Malachi Medlock, but mostly Dobbins.
Robinson's back in the game. Nice job of getting off blocks, using your hands and getting off blocks. That's that zone play back to the C gap they're running. Nice job of separation and controlling their gaps there.
Abilene Christian coming off of its best drive, resulted in a field goal. And there you see Darius Robinson. He was shaken up a couple of plays ago. Flip Dobbins to the other side. Maverick McIver, ooh, a scary pass. Fingertips of Tyron Hopper, the transfer from Florida.
They saw it was man coverage. What they got was Tyrone matched up on the back, and I wouldn't go against that guy. Tyrone is a linebacker with safety skills. The kid can run, and he's long.
Yeah, that's Tyron Hopper.
At the 26-yard line.
So another third down coming up here for Abilene Christian.
They went in motion and show them right there. They're going to be in man-to-man coverage.
So they'll go to the ground with Dobbins. And he's going to be well short of the third down. Dalen Carnell in on the stop.
What they did there, we talked to Coach Lee. He noticed man-to-man coverage, tried to pop the zone on the third and long. If he would have bounced it to the outside, I think this B gap was there for the young man. He cut it back. That was a nice play by Carlisle there.
So the punt team comes on. Logan Burke back to punt, and Luther Burden, first game returning for Missouri, and I think it's gone pretty well so far. 78-yard punt return for a touchdown to start the game.
Watched practice yesterday. They worked a whole lot on their special teams for that Friday practice.
He's going to go again. Breaks 2 tackles. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Steps out around the 50 and a flag comes out. They grab the back of his pads.
Horse collar. It looked like a horse collar from me back up aside here. He almost was gone again. That was a touchdown saving tackle there. They're going to tack on 15 yards here, in my opinion.
Oh, and so no foul. They pick up the flag. Steve Marlowe is our referee today. I think it was Logan Burke, the punter, who was in on the tackle.
They're missing tackles on that punt return on his elusiveness. Comes on the sideline.
Yeah, it's the punter coming over to make the stop.
Yeah, they grabbed the front of his jersey, not the back of his jersey, and flipped him around. Keep an eye on here in the plus territory on a deep shot on first down here.
And they'll stop this play. They call it on 51. That's Zeke Powell, the right tackle. Missouri coming off a drive where Brady Cook threw his longest pass of the season, a 79-yard touchdown to Dominic Lovett. Ground game, Nathaniel Pete carried a defender on his back, picks up 2 yards, takes it to the 50. Stopped by Kirby Kohili.
Coach Drinkwitz came back to his bread and butter. We talked to him in the meeting about his bread and butter runs. He said, Stack, I love the outside zone. There was an example of that. They got to get better push off the offensive line on that one.
Eli Drinkwitz said they went back to their own DNA. A lot of times last week they didn't have 11 people on the same page. He saw some guys not playing fast, some uncertainty. So they went back to what they had trained in fall camp and worried more about them than their opponent.
I wasn't good in biology. I had to go back and look what DNA meant.
Yep. Cook rolling out the quick dump off to Dominic Lovett, and he's trying to go back the opposite way on the other side of the field. Lovett steps just past the 40 to the 39.
That's what quickness and speed does for you, Cody, because I'm up here going, no, yes, oh, yeah, good. Quickness and speed, they make up for a lot. They put them in a third marginal situation here.
The coaches may be having that same reaction you were while that was unfolding, but it works out in a positive play. Third down here.
They're in an unbalanced set here. He was talking about jet sweep going back to the boundary. Let's see what they do.
There goes your man in motion, Mookie Cooper. And Abilene Christian's defense is going to get a stop and thrown for a loss. Will Morgan, one of the guys in there. Fourth down.
Will Morgan is a tough, stout, physical football player up on the inside there. You know, he's 305 pounds, and not only tough and stout, he had beautiful get off there. The get off on the ball and penetration kills you.
Yeah, he had the best camp out of the D-line group in the fall. 5 tackles last week, 3 TFLs and a sack against Prairie View A&M.
Coach Cassidy really raved about him last night, didn't he?
Yeah, big
For
fan.
a guy in the middle.
Sean Kenning on to punt. It is Catalan back, and he lets this one go. It's going to take an Abilene Christian bounce and rolls up just past the 20. Well, tonight, SEC football final is back for another season, and the guys got you covered. Love this group. Dari Noga, Chris Doring, Benjamin Watson, Takeo Spikes. They'll take you through the biggest stories of the day, break down all the games, 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Also have a little preview of the day coming up from our studio guys. That'll be coming up at the half here in Columbia. Missouri trying to right the ship today after a bad loss to K-State last week. It was not the performance they wanted, hoping to figure a few more things out against an Abilene Christian team out of the FCS before Missouri starts SEC play next week against Auburn. Here comes Maverick McIver and his offense. It's Malachi Medlock. Falls forward to the 26. Tyron Hopper on the stop.
Medlock, he's a good switch up back for them. What do I mean by that? He's not as fast or as quick, but he's got some explosion inside the gap there.
Yeah, Rovon Banks Jr. is their leading rusher, but we have not seen him today. We were told Jeremiah Dobbins would get the start after his performance last week. 15 carries, 61 yards, averaged 4.1 yards per carry. And then they've elected to go with Medlock. Time winding down here in the first quarter. Pass complete to Tristan Golightly, and that'll move the chains. Jelani Williams on the tackle.
Nice decision by McIver there. They went on a corner blitz, so the safety has to come over and get him. And he threw that ball with a nice completion.
So it'll be first down for Abilene Christian when we come back to Como. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been explosive plays for Missouri. A 78-yard punt return for a touchdown, a 79-yard touchdown pass. The big highlights for MIZ.
That's one way to get the crowd into it.
We welcome you back to Columbia, Missouri. The explosive plays have been big time for Mizzou. A 78-yard punt return for a touchdown by Luther Burden. Yes, he is returning for Missouri today. And then a 79-yard touchdown pass to Dominic Lovett. That's the difference right now. Abilene Christian has a 1st and 10, and now they lost a few yards as the stop made by Tyron Hopper.
Nice penetration by the D-line, and Tyrone Hopper could scrape over top of the line and make a TFL.
It's a loss of 3 on the play. We have called Tyron Hopper's name a lot tonight, or today. It's not even noon yet here in Como.
Well, evaluating his tape from last week, he needs a big game this week to get ready for SEC play.
Handed off to Jeremiah Dobbins, and he's taken back to the line of scrimmage. Stopped by Chris Abrams-Drain.
This is a play here where Coach Baker did a good job of adjusting. He went back with the trips, running the zone back to the nub side, the guard tackle tight end side, and Drains did a nice job of filling the C gap and getting a tackle for loss.
Abilene Christian 1 for 4 on 3rd down.
This is a situation Coach Lee didn't want. He said we cannot get behind on the sticks. And obviously they are with the 12 yards to go here. McIver's checking.
He'll get it out quickly to Davion Johnson, weaving his way across midfield, but he's going to be short of the 1st down as they mark the ball at the 43-yard line. Abrams-Drain on the stop.
Nice little controlled pass there. At one point there, he should have put his toe on the ground and stuck it up north here. See the catch here? Right there, right there in that second move, he should have stuck his foot in the ground and hit it north.
They hesitated for a second, but they will go ahead and bring out Logan Burke to punt this football. And this time it won't be Luther Burden, it will be Dominic Lovett back to return. First time he's returned a punt today. Again, that was an area of competition this week for Missouri. That one goes high and out of bounds. So Missouri coming back on offense when we come back to Como. Brady Cook getting the start again today for Missouri. This is a guy, the story's been well told, but it's so fun to go back and visit, how it started, how it's going. Brady Cook grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, went to Chaminade High School, and he was a Missouri fan. I mean, look at baby Brady in his Mizzou gear, and he dreamed of one day being the starting quarterback for his Missouri Tigers, spent his whole football career to get here. He wasn't going to throw in the towel in past seasons when he wasn't named the starting quarterback. He just went to work and worked even harder to earn the spot.
I'm really proud of him, but that picture made me feel old. He's wearing Blaine Gabbert's number 11.
What were you doing around that time, Coach?
I was coaching.
Handoff to Elijah Young, and he's dropped down just short of the 45-yard line by Kirby Kohili.
Elijah Young gives the backfield a different boost because of his quickness and explosiveness. I watched him in the Army game last year, and he was electrifying.
Here goes Young again. He'll be just a few inches short of the first down. Talking to Eli Drinkwitz, he said, ideally you want to have a change of pace back, and that's what Elijah Young does for this Missouri running back crew. They've got Nathaniel Pete and Cody Schrader, who are similar runners, and then Elijah Young comes in for that different look. And now they'll trade out for Schrader.
Now Schrader's coming in here. Third and short situation. He's the better pass protector, they said.
Now they're going to turn around and give it to him. Oh, and he's going to be short of the first down. Stopped by Abner Dubar.
Nice bend off the backside. They came off with a blitz there, and Dubar came down there and made a nice tackle.
So if you're Missouri, what do you do? Looks like they're going to go for it.
They're going for it.
Right at midfield. They need a yard. Cody Schrader still in the game.
Comes the fly sweep. You might be trying to drive them off sides here, Courtney, because they're in an unbalanced set. Let's see if they fly back up to the field here. 4th and short.
Yeah, Brady Cook looking to the sideline, now signaling to his men. Play clock running down.
Yeah, they didn't take a delay game.
Yep.
They're taking a delay game, which is good. They're going to get the penalty and punt the football.
How do you like that decision? Would you rather go for it?
No, they're winning the football game by 14-3. So what you need to do here is you punt the ball. Ketting, in my opinion, is a really good punter. Put it back down inside the 5-yard line. Play defense, and it'll flip the field as far as where they have to get to here. This is a great decision if the defense goes 3 and out, Courtney.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Kendall Catalan back to receive Sean Ketting's punt.
He's back on the 5-yard line. He needs to have his heels at 8.
Wow. And that one gets shanked out of bounds.
That's shocking to me. And the reason why I say it's shocking to me is because Sean Ketting has a powerful leg. That was a lack of focus there.
So just a 20-yard punt. We saw Sean Ketting have some issues last week.
They opened the punt returner, had a competition for punt returner. They might have one for punter next week. Now, I'm personally a fan of Ketting, big fan of Ketting. He's got to keep his focus and follow through with his fundamentals.
So Abilene Christian is going to set this drive up on their own 35-yard line, and Maverick McIver back to work. Off play action, quick pass out to Kobe Clark. Now just one reception away from moving into second all-time on the ACU list. He's forced out of bounds by Chris Abrams-Strain.
Wide receiver did a really nice job of kicking out the corner. He should have stuck his foot in the ground and went north instead of trying to run outside there.
2nd and 9 at the 36.
2nd and 9 coming up. Tyrese White in the game for the first time for Abilene Christian, standing back there with McIver. Clark in motion. Looking to the far side, just out of reach of Tristan Golightly. Jalen Carlisle in coverage.
Excellent job with the coverage. They've been running that bubble all day. Now they went with the bubble and go. Then very good job of the coverage there and pushing them to the sideline.
At the 36-yard line.
Abilene Christian looking for their second third down conversion of the day. They're 1 for 5. It's 3rd and 9.
Third down is money down. This is where you get paid to get this first down. Coach Lee wanted to stay out of these third and long situations.
All 3 targets on the near side. McIver lets it fly to Tristan Golightly. Breaks a tackle, weaving around past midfield into Missouri territory. Just the second time they've converted on third down.
Second time, which makes it well. They're throwing these short intermediate passes with the off coverage and letting the receivers get their work done there. They're really excited about their receiving group over there.
Yeah, Abilene Christian, Keith Patterson, he pulled from the transfer portal big time. Tristan Golightly is one of those guys. They've added about 40 guys, 32 of them from the transfer portal since last season. Remember, this is Keith Patterson's first year. He knew he needed some help. Tyrese White steps back inside, falls forward for a gain of about 2 on the play before DJ Coleman was there.
Fundamentally, the defensive line's getting off blocks there, but the other thing I think is happening is they keep running that trips, got the bubble to the field and a zone to the backside, and Coach Baker did a very nice job of what he's doing. He's rolling down the coverage now into that C gap where they got hurt before. Good coaching adjustment by Coach Baker.
Yeah, Coach Baker told us it was going to be interesting to see if Abilene Christian, who seemed to be very heavy towards their tendencies, if they stayed towards that, and how they could make adjustments in game. Here's Tyrese White.
Right now, they're sticking to those tendencies. Coach Lee's going to have to change those up at halftime, if you ask me.
As Stephen Lee, the offensive coordinator for Abilene Christian, and here comes a second third down on this drive.
Now this is intermediate routes, talking to Coach. He likes the zone read concept here, which is crazy to me a little bit, but he's looking for he's putting the ball in the quarterback's hand. It's either going to be zone or bubble here in this situation.
McIver swings it out. Zarek Scruggs. Did he spin forward enough? He might be just a yard short is where he stepped out. Ennis Rakestraw there. And it's 4th down.
Got to know where the sticks are. You know, that's another one of those things that makes coaches get gray hair, and I got a lot of them. You got to know where the sticks are. You know, you're a foot away from that thing.
And try the QB sneak with McIver. I don't think he got enough. They rule him short. Missouri's defensive line holding strong.
The thing I don't want to be judgmental. The only thing I didn't like about that call is the D line for Missouri is much bigger and more physical than the O line for Abilene Christian. And to put those big guys up in front of that center to snap the ball and get a push when they can hit the outside edge. I like the call going for it, though.
Brady Cook for Missouri, 4 for 5 today for 95 yards and that big-time touchdown.
Getting the ball out of his hands quick. He's making very good decisions. You see him on the run here. Goes back across his body. Lovett does a very good job using his quickness and speed. And then this one here on the home run ball. Throws it perfect on stride. Looks into his hands. Takes it in the end zone. Brady's doing a really nice job today. He's making up for what he thinks was a bad performance last week. And the other thing we're seeing for the most part, the O-line's getting a lot better right now.
Yeah, that's a big area to watch. SEC play starts next week, and they struggled last week against K-State. They'll turn around and hand this ball off.
Number 20, Cody Schrader, the ball carrier.
Cody Schrader is the carrier. The transfer from Truman State.
Reese Young.
Led D2 in rushing last season. 2,074 yards and 24 touchdowns, and he's been a great addition to Missouri.
He's a really tough runner. What I really liked about that play is how Reese Young filled the gap. He's a true freshman out of Stephenville, Texas. Now, Stephenville, Texas is a really good high school football team down there. But the way he fired the gun through that C gap was unbelievable.
That's number 42 in purple for Abilene Christian is Elijah Young. And flag down.
We'll have to see what this is. It's back there where it looks like holding.
The second time today, I think, that we've seen holding by Missouri.
It is, and seeing the body language of my man Wood there. You knew it was him. You see that body language. That's the one thing about being an offensive lineman. You know, they only talk about you when you do something bad.
Right. So that'll back Missouri up just over their own 30-yard line. We'll call it the 31. Over the top, pass complete to Mookie Cooper. Tristan Anderson there after Cooper made the grab.
Nice job with the dig route. Coach said that's one of his favorite routes to throw. Should have had his eyes picked out because he had a guy all the way up over top. He had another touchdown. He missed it looking for the dig route, though.
That is just the second reception by Cooper this season. He had one reception, but it was for -4 yards last week against K-State. A pickup of 19. Takes the ball just shy of midfield. Off play action. Cook. He was looking for Schrader coming out of the backfield and found him.
Nice design. They went bootleg throwback. They're in what's called quarters coverage, and when they run that wheel route from the back on the backside, he's got to be picked up by the linebacker. See the linebacker? He's running like heck over there because he knew that was his guy.
Second reception of the season for Cody Schrader. And now they shoot him up the middle. Out to the the 22-yard line.
Nice push by the offensive line there. They need this for a confidence boost here. All they've scored is 2 touchdowns off of explosive plays here. So this is a nice little drive getting them going.
And the first one being a special teams touchdown on the punt return by Luther Burden. Schrader has been their main guy on this drive. Look at the kid work. I mean, he forced them to give him that first down.
Schrader is a tough, hard-nosed running back. What they did is they took that tight end, motioned him, and made like a fullback, and it was an isolation play where they doubled down on the nose, and he led up on the linebacker.
Schrader out of St. Louis, Missouri. Joined Missouri as a walk-on in January. Yeah, give it to him again. And then Tyron Bradley grabbed a hold of him and pulled him back. Number 0 in purple.
Tyron Bradley, he's a fine football player. He looks the part, he plays the part, he has good hands and separation out there in the field.
Would you believe he was a quarterback in high school?
Coach told us that the other night. My jaw dropped. And when I saw his body type on the field, I really dropped my jaw.
240-pound high school quarterback. Oh, and Abilene Christian's defense, Darius Moore, all over that play as they handed it off to Nathaniel Pete.
Nice job of penetration. Darius Moore and Reese Young, they're their run stopper linebackers in their scheme. What caused that, though, was the penetration by the defensive front with Morgan and Pop.
Darius Moore, one of the hardest hitters on this Abilene Christian defense.
3rd and 11. Now anticipate here, Cassidy, they haven't been in the red zone all season right here, right now. Haven't been in the red zone. Watch the drop 8 concept right here.
First time we're seeing Abilene Christians, as you said, their red zone defense this season.
There it is.
Looking for the corner of the end zone. Pass incomplete. Toski Dove stepped out of bounds.
Dove made a nice catch with his hands, but he has to get his toe in bounds there. You see here on the protection, they do drop 8 here. They're rushing 3. Decent throw here. Hands. Got to get that foot in bounds for the touchdown. See here again on another look. Goes up. Eye-hand coordination. Got to get that foot down.
Yeah, he comes down in the yellow. That was close, though. And so instead, this will be a 32-yard field goal attempt by Harrison Mevis.
The thicker kicker.
That's what they call him. And it's up and good. So not the touchdown Missouri wanted, but they'll take 3 more points. And Mizzou on top of Abilene Christian, 17-3.
Another one.
Missouri gets a field goal and extends their lead at 17-3 here against Abilene Christian. Sean Ketting will kick this thing off back to the Wildcats. And he boots it out of the back of the end zone. Well, they just recognized teachers inside the stadium, and it's extra yards for Teachers Week. And Martez Manuel, he remembers one of his favorite teachers, Mr. Reed.
I met Mr. Reed when I was going into the 9th grade at Rockbridge High School. I was a new student there and I was kind of nervous. We connected right away due to his energy and his passion, and I'm very thankful that he invested in me the way he did. Mr. Reed, I just want to say thank you so much for playing such a huge role in my success as a college student here at Mizzou.
Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7 at the 28.
I like what Coach Lee's doing here. He's sticking to his plan with the run game. Going trips, no backside guard, tackle tight end. Now they're checking here. They're putting a little bunch here.
They'll swing it out. It's Catalan. Still needs a yard for that first down. Tackle made by Chris Abrams-Drain. He's been very active today.
What they're doing is taking that number 1 and 2 receiver, running him vertical, and throwing him out in the flat there to get his yards.
They're going to be short on this. Christian Williams.
They didn't get the push that they needed upside there. They went with the zone read concept, and he tried to follow him up in the middle there, and he did not make it.
Timeout, Missouri, the first of the half.
We'll step aside 2 on that Mizzou timeout.
Please reset the game clock.
Up 17-3 here in the second quarter. Missouri coming out of this timeout, and we were just talking, Steck, you liked the timeout for the Tigers there. Why?
I love the timeout. Their enforcement of punch saves the clock. You got 2:18 now. Missouri needs to go on a 2-minute drive and try to, the old say, double down. You go down here, score a touchdown, they're going to get the opening kickoff in the second half, Courtney.
Oh, and look who they have back returning this punt. Luther Burden is back there. Took the opening punt. First punt they saw, he took it 78 yards to the house. We've seen Dominic Lovett come in and return punts 2 today. They'll let this one go. And it rolls to about the 22-yard line.
Nice decision by Luther. Didn't want to gamble anything. Let the ball bounce.
So 2 minutes here, you can go 2-minute drive. What do you want to see out of Missouri's offense right now?
I want to see him to manage the clock the right way, number 1. And number 2, keep poise in the pocket. Here's where we talked about the O-line earlier in the broadcast about wanting to be verified. Here's the chance to get it done here. Protect Brady, move the ball down the field, score a touchdown. Worst case scenario, let's get 3 points on a field goal.
Brady Cook today, 6 for 8, 139 yards through the air and a touchdown. Missouri with 175 yards of total offense. Elijah Young is back with Cook. They'll motion him out. Love it. Connection is made, but he's maybe going to gain a yard on that play. Patrick Jolly on the stop, the transfer from UCLA.
My man Elijah Young, who I really like, Elijah's got to make that block on the perimeter, and they're going to get more yards off the sideline. The corner over there made a nice play, setting the edge and making the tackle.
2nd and 9. Cook in trouble. He's going to have to scramble. Maybe bumped into his own guy, falls forward to the 26-yard line before Jack Schultz takes him down.
Talked about protection. Protection broke down there on the left side of the line. Now they're going to make a sub package here. Here comes our pass rushers.
Luther Burden comes in. He's at the top of your screen. Only 2 touches from the line of scrimmage for 4 yards for Burden. And the pass broken up. It was intended for Barrett Bannister over the middle of the field. Would have been enough for the first down.
Bannister, he's Mr. Third Down. What they do in that sub package over there, what they do is they put Anthony Egbo in the game. And he's the nickel man. A nice break on the ball there and knocked the pass down.
Egbo, number 4 in purple, actually ran into his own guy, but passing complete. They will take that, and not the 2-minute drive you wanted to see from Missouri.
No, I'm sure Coach Drinkowitz is a little disappointed in that drive.
There's a much better punt from Sean Ketting.
53-yard punt, no return.
That's my man, Sean Ketting's leg now.
And I don't think that was Sean Ketting, actually.
It is not. That was Steakhouse.
Our SEC football lineup rolls on today at 4 Eastern. Alabama facing Louisiana Monroe, Akron and Tennessee, Missouri State and Arkansas coming up later tonight at 7 p.m. and at 7:30 South Florida taking on the Florida Gators. You can see them on SEC Network. You can also see it streaming live on the ESPN app. Yeah, so a different punter coming in for Missouri. And much better results. So here goes Abilene Christian with 48 seconds to work with in the half. McIver. Pass incomplete.
Number 1, Maverick McIver.
Look in the way of Tristan Golightly.
For number 5.
Tell you what I like about this, Courtney, is
Incomplete.
our Coach Lee, he's not saying whoa in the middle of the horse race. He's only got 43 seconds left. He's coming out throwing. Some guys would like just run the ball. Let's go into halftime, 17-3 and regroup. He's coming out and say, hey, let's go.
Second and 10 from their own 21. McIver will swing it out to Dobbins. He steps out of bounds, but a yard short of the first down.
These yard shorts are making me
Yeah.
crazy as a coach. You got to know where the sticks are and get the first down.
And 1 at the 30-yard line.
Nice design on that last play. They ran a crack screen where the receiver came, cracked the guy who had him man-to-man, and just ran a little flare route to the boundary.
Little bunch on the near side for Abilene Christian. They go to the ground, and Dobbins is stopped. No gain on the play. Tyron Hopper.
Timeout, Missouri, their second of the half.
And now Missouri's going to take their second timeout with 32 seconds left.
Another smart decision. They still got one more, so if they don't get this first down here, which is going to be critical for Abilene to get, they're going to get the ball back again. And I don't know if they're trying to get the ball. They're not trying to get the ball back, Courtney, in my opinion, to make any type of a drive. They're trying to get him to punt the ball so they can get their man Luther back there and see if he can go do something. The other thing that we got to look for up here is when they scored that touchdown on the punt return, they ran a wall return. I haven't seen them come back to the wall return yet.
Want to let you know, Monday at 7 Eastern, Thinking Out Loud is back for another season with Spencer Hall and Richard Johnson. They'll break down the weekend on the gridiron, talk about the hottest topics of the week, and preview Saturday's biggest games. It's right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Fourth down, Abilene Christian will punt this with Logan Burke. Luther Burden is back. Here he goes.
49-yard punt.
Do you like him scooping that up off the bounce?
I do like him scooping that up because like we talked about before, you lose about 15 yards average. Average if you let it roll and go past you. I like that. what they were trying to do is set up a wall to their bench over here, and he just couldn't get all the way back across the field on it.
So Missouri's offense will have 19 seconds. They do have one timeout.
Let's go for it, man. We're in a horse race. Don't say whoa.
Say giddy up.
Giddy up.
They send out Cody Schrader as the back. 3-by-1 look here for the Tigers. Quick pass over the top. It's caught, and Missouri taking it to the 40-yard line. The pass complete to Barrett Bannister.
That's that dig route. Coach said, Brady, that's his favorite route, is to throw that dig route.
Excuse me, that was to Luther Burden.
Timeout, Missouri.
And Missouri's going to use their timeout here.
30-second timeout.
That's a little bit surprising to me from the standpoint of the clock was stopped to move the chains. You got a first down, get up and run another play, and then you can stop the clock if you have to.
So that'll be their last timeout of the half. 13 seconds on the clock. They'll have 1st and 10 from their own 40.
Now, when we watch practice, the thing I loved about practice yesterday was Coach practices all these different kind of scenarios and situations. You're too far away for a Hail Mary, and there's only 13 seconds on the clock. Watch for some type of funky throwback situation here, coming back across the field.
Cook is flushed. He was looking for Dominic Lovett. And Anthony Egbo did a good job in coverage there for Abilene Christian. Clock stops with 6 seconds left.
Coach Cassidy, he dropped 8. He's only rushing 3. Offensive line there again now. They got to get verified. We keep talking about that. A little bit better pressure when you have 5 to block 3. You should have a nice clean pocket. 6 seconds. What do we got, Coach, from 60 yards out? I'd be in a prevent right now if I was defense, Courtney. They're playing awful tight here.
They go short pass to Dominic Lovett. And he'll be taken down at the 46, and that should end the half. Chike Nwankwo with the tackle, and Missouri's going to go into the locker room with a 17-3 lead, 198 yards in the first half for Missouri. What do you think of the Tigers?
I thought the Tigers, the big thing that was this situation there.
Their self-discipline, and you wanted to keep that going. What have you liked so far?
Well, I mean, I like the way we started, but we haven't been able to run the ball consistently. We got to find our identity running the football, and that's what we're working towards.
What about on defense?
Defense is playing their butt off. We just got to get some turnovers.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Now, you heard Coach Drinkwitz say it. They only have 40 rushing yards in the first half.
They do have to get the run game going. The other thing that's concerning to me, they'll talk about the run game, but in the pass game, Courtney, they only have that 1 or 2 explosive plays that they got. They got to start getting more controlled passing game, and what that'll do is it'll also open up the run game.
All right, so more coming up at the half for you. The guys back in the studio will have a preview of the games to come later today. We'll also take a look back at a very special moment for one Missouri Tiger this season. Highlights and first half recap also coming up. Halftime here in Columbia, Missouri on top of Abilene Christian at the half, 17-3.
Ball carrier.
Welcome in, SEC Halftime Report. Dari Doring and Takio as we look ahead to some of the bigger games of the day. And we start in a place that one Takio Spikes knows awfully well, Plains. As Auburn is hosting a Big Ten team for the very first time. I find that shocking that that's a fact, but that is a fact. Penn State comes a-calling to take on the 2-0 Tigers, a team that has won both games, but not necessarily looked overly impressive. This is a bit of a measuring stick game, perhaps, Takio. What would have to happen for your alma mater to knock off the first Big Ten team to walk into their stadium?
Well, I think it's important that Auburn establish their identity. And when people think about Auburn football, they think about hard-nosed. They think about being able to turn 10 to 12 play drives into touchdowns. And that's something that they haven't been able to do on the offensive side, especially at the quarterback position without turning the football over. Now, defensively, you look at on their side of the football, you have to wonder, can these guys keep that same type of aggression and force turnovers, something that they're one of only two teams in the SEC that has not forced turnovers.
You know what that means? It means they're ready to come, and they're going to come in bunches. But
yes.
It starts with the defensive line. That's always been a signature of Auburn's football teams, is being tough on the line of scrimmage. And if you look at Penn State, they have a great quarterback in Sean Clifford, but he gets affected a lot by pressure because the offensive line has not been good this year. They get a freshman by the name of Nate Singleton, who has been outstanding in terms of running the football. But I'm anxious to see this matchup between the pass protection of Penn State and that defensive front for Auburn.
Well, how effective does Auburn need to be throwing the football to have success not only today but moving forward? We know their identity as Takeo established.
Yeah.
Long drives led by the run.
You got to be able to throw the football in this league. I mean, you can't be one-dimensional. But the thing that I love about this group of running backs with Jarquez Hunter and Tank Bigsby is not only are they great runners, they're good pass receivers out of the backfield. So get those guys more touches than what they've got in the first two ball games, Takeo.
Absolutely. And you can't forget about Robbie Ashford, the young quarterback transfer that came over from Oregon. It's imperative that these guys not only run the football effectively, but to be able to put them in situations 3rd down, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5, something manageable that the quarterback can get the quick game going and have high percentage
Can
passes.
I ask a quick question as if I'm a host? How's the snap distribution between Ashford and the starter, TJ Finley?
Oh, man.
What do you think it'll be? Yeah.
50-50?
No, I truly believe it's going to be a little experiment.
Feel it out.
Feel it out.
Okay.
Depending on who has the most success early.
Sure.
And what formation that will
I
determine.
thought he had inside information. I was trying to.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Auburn guy.
If he does, he's not sharing. It's a big game.
I went to the game.
How about Mississippi State LSU? For the first time since 2000, Mississippi State's actually favored against LSU. Of course, we remember the last time State was in Baton Rouge, 2020. They torched the Tigers through the air. Now, Jaden Daniels and the LSU offense put up big numbers last week, but of course that was against Southern. State comes in 2-0, and even though a lot of us haven't really gotten to watch them because they played so late these first 2 weeks, early results and reports indicate they're pretty good.
Yeah, I feel really good about Mississippi State, as I did heading into the season, Takeo, largely because they have the most experienced starting quarterback in Will Rogers. This is his 3rd year starting in that offense. He's got receivers around him that have been there for a while. But maybe the best thing that I've seen so far is the evolution of the offense, including running the football more. They're averaging almost 11 more attempts on the ground, designed runs, than they were last season through the first 2 ball games this year.
Defensively, you can't forget about them on that side. I was one of those guys previously, you didn't know what to expect from Mississippi State on the defensive side. But when you turn on the tape, you see a bunch of guys, 11 guys playing together as a unit, especially on the back end, which is the most impressive thing. They're tied for the lead in the SEC with 3 interceptions. And when you look at the tape, it clearly shows that they understand zone. They understand down and distance. They're not being the catfish and jumping on the little shallow route. They're playing back, making the quarterback throw through the pockets. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. Can they pick off Jaden Daniels?
When they thumped him in Baton Rouge a couple of years ago, it was the first game for Mike Leach, first conference game. This would be the first conference game for Brian Kelly at LSU. What's the magnitude of it from the way we look at Kelly?
We're talking about his 3rd career game as the coach in Baton Rouge, and yet I feel like the pressure is on him big time. Maybe outside of Jimbo Fisher, the most pressure on him as a head coach in this league because of how poor they looked against Florida State. Southern was a game they were able to come back and kind of tighten some things up, but today will be a true test with Mississippi State coming to town.
All right, how about what's going to happen later tonight down in College Station, where you mentioned the pressure, right? And it certainly feels like it because the offense for A&M has supplied none. Certainly didn't last week in the home loss against App State. And now Miami comes to Kyle Field, scoring 50 points a game, allowing just 10. And no, the Hurricanes haven't exactly played a big-time schedule, but they look much improved under Mario Cristobal in year 1. I know A&M's going with a new quarterback, Max Johnson. What can a quarterback change do for a team entering a game like this?
It brings life. I call the quarterback change a defibrillator. Anytime that you're on the table and you're dead, Bring it out, and that's Max Johnson, people.
Well, do you like a defibrillator that's a really quality one or just having one there? This one is a quality one that's been used a lot in the SEC. Like, he has a ton of starts at LSU. He comes over now, gives you a great option if you're Jimbo Fisher. But let's not put it all on the quarterback. There have been pass protection issues up front. They haven't been able to run the football. Receivers not getting open. So bringing the quarterback in can bring a spark, but everybody else around him, Dari, has to start elevating their play as well.
How does A&M avoid playing tight after what happened last week?
I don't think there's any reason to play tight. You play loose at this point in time. Hey, we just got embarrassed last week. What is it that we could do that's worse than last week? So come out and just show people that was not the real Texas A&M Aggie football team.
Yeah, and I disagree with you, Chris, because I think they'll come out tight just because the expectation is not just on Jimbo Fisher. You got family members who are calling you as a player saying, man, what are you doing? Why didn't you make the play? So I think defensively, looking on that side of the ball, they're playing against a Miami team that converted third downs at 65%. Now, when you go back to last week's game when they played Appalachian State, they allow Appalachian State, 9 for 20 on third downs. That's close to 50%. And then even on fourth downs, 3 for 5. So this team, they're going to be tight on the defensive side. How do you settle it? Make plays.
You know what else they did? Common belief is they changed everybody's plans for the weekend. Those family members were like, we were going to show up for college game day. Now it's in Boone, North Carolina.
Oh,
that's
you
where
give
it was
them more
earlier.
ammunition.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly right. All right, you know that when all the games are over, 4 of us have you covered. Yes, our friend Benjamin Watson will be here as well tonight when we're all done from the swamp as we tie a nice pretty bow around the 3rd Saturday in the SEC.
Halftime here in Columbia, Missouri. Missouri on top of Abilene Christian, 17-3. And there was a really special moment in fall camp earlier this year, and it involved one of their walk-ons in Cody Schrader, who transferred in from Truman State. He was actually the leading rusher in D2 last season, rushing for over 2,074 yards. And Eli Drinkwitz handed him a present, and that present was a scholarship. Now, Missouri doesn't have any scholarships left for the fall, but he is going to be on scholarship in the spring to help complete his degree, and it couldn't have happened to a better guy. Coach Drinkwitz was telling us about just how much Cody has brought in terms of just being thankful for everything that he has at Mizzou after being at Truman State.
He is grateful, and those moments, I'm getting a little emotional because those moments are very special to a football player, and by the way, his family who don't have to pay anymore for his tuition and stuff. And the thing that's also special is you see how the team reacts. They're so excited for him. They know he deserves that scholarship, so it's really special.
5 carries so far in this one for Cody Schrader, and again, he'll be on scholarship in the spring. More from the half coming up here in Como. Back here in Columbia, getting set to start the 3rd quarter. Missouri on top of Abilene Christian, 17-3. Okay, we know this was a big game for Missouri after a disappointing loss to K-State last week. What did you think of the first half?
I think they have some stuff they still got to work on. They have explosive plays, which is nice on the punt return. They have explosive plays on the big touchdown pass. They got to get the run game going. 40 yards ain't good. I don't like the third downs. It's 1 of 6. You watch the highlights here. Explosive plays are great. Here's Luther Burnett. Takes the ball. Great wall return step to the boundary. Kicks on the Jets. Takes it back. Big explosive play for the touchdown on this one.
Yeah, that was a 78-yard return on the first punt.
Now here's the run game, though. People are swarming. The Wildcats are going. You see a lot of the purple people eaters, you know. They're all over it. They're making good stops. They held them to a field goal there. Now here's Brady Cook taking over. Throws a little bubble screen. They get out on the perimeter. Get some yards there to Luther. Scrambles. Comes back across his body. Finds a little dig route. Watch Lovett. Takes the ball. Good quickness all the way back around the side. And then here's the big explosive play they got for the touchdown. So you got the big explosive play on the pass, the big explosive play on the punt return. Now they got to settle in, get the run game going, and maybe hopefully get some more explosives.
Yeah, I know a key for you, Steck, was watching that offensive line. What did you think of the first half, specifically when it came to the O-line?
To the O-line, they're going in streaks, Courtney. They're going in streaks. They got to sustain what they're doing fundamentally. And I know Coach Johnson's probably all over them at halftime. Let's get back to the basics, take a deep breath, and let's get this thing moving forward.
So Missouri will get the ball to start the second half. 203 total yards for Missouri in that first half, but only 40 rushing, like you said, Stack. So we'll see if they try to go back to the ground game and improve there. I'll let this one go into the back of the end zone.
Where do you want me to be?
Court.
Let's go down to the field now. Tamara Brown is down, and she talked to the Abilene coaching staff.
Guys, I talked to head coach Keith Patterson coming out of the tunnel, and he said that ACU is beating themselves. He said, same thing I said to you guys yesterday when I spoke to you. The first 4 non-conference games, I want us to be focused on ourselves, not our opponent. And today, the margin of victory is the fact that we've beaten ourselves on both of those touchdowns that Mizzou has scored.
Yeah, Tamara, they definitely kept that focus. It was interesting to talk to Keith Patterson in his first year as Abilene Christian's head coach about how much he has had these guys look internally when it comes to what they're doing on the field and off the field. Quick pass out to Luther Burden. Burden with just a couple receptions. That'll be his 3rd reception today.
The thing about these receptions, though, they're all coming off of bubble screens and some quick passes. They started him in motion them back, and threw it out to the screen out there.
So they'll go pistol look here. Burden was the man in motion. They turn around and give it to Nathaniel Pete. Nathaniel Pete! Fortunately for Abilene Christian, they had one guy out there. It was Abner Dubar, or Pete was going to take that to the house.
They did what they did. You saw what they did. They brought Luther in motion here, faked it to him, ran the sweep, and they rolled the coverage down to where Luther was going and only had one man back deep there. But Dubner falls it and gets him.
So a 25-yard pickup on the play. It takes the ball to the 44-yard line in Abilene Christian territory. Back to the ground game with Schrader, and flag is out in the backfield. Oh, and the ball comes out, but was he down?
We're about 200 yards away, but that looked like he was down in that situation there. Flags in the situation of holding there. But did you see the penetration that the Wildcats got on that?
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. Holding, offense number 55. That penalty is declined. First down, Abilene Christian.
Wow, and that's the first turnover today, and Abilene Christian advantage Wildcats.
Coach Drink was talking about we got to get turnovers. I don't think the players were listening. They gave a turnover.
So this is Torrey Hargrove, one of the captains, coming in, number 30 in purple, to knock that ball, try to rip it out of the hands of Schrader.
Does a nice job there, cross-arming the ball and getting it out. The question that the officials are going to have to decide was his rear end down when that ball came up and out.
Yeah, Ron Leatherwood is our replay official up here in the press box today. Let's see, was Schrader down right there? I think his knee was down.
Good pickup, Courtney.
Yes.
Real good pickup. His knee was down while he was twisting. If I'm the replay official, I'm overturning this.
Yeah, that was the best look right there from our crew. You could see him spinning and put that knee down while he still had possession of the football. The original call, though, on the field was that it was a fumble by Missouri recovered by Abilene Christian, but that should be enough to overturn this.
Yeah, you see it? Trying to get the extra yard here.
Watch his right knee.
Arm comes inside here.
Excuse me, it's his left knee, I think. No, it is his, yeah, left knee.
The left knee does touch. That's kind of bang, bang. I'm very interested to see what they decide. I think there's a little bit better angle here. Coming down, he's down. To me, the knee's down.
I think that look from the side was probably one of the best, too, where you could see his knee down and he had control of the football.
Yeah. Our replay people down in our booth are showing us really nice shots there.
Yeah. Again, we have not had a turnover by either side in this game yet.
Yeah, it's going to be curious. Now there's a situation where you both got, you look at both offenses and defenses are both huddled all up together because they got to decide which way they're going with this.
I think this might be one of the best looks. Right there.
Just so you know, Courtney, like right now, Missouri's 1-6 on third downs. I'm probably like 1-10 on deciding if it's a
Really?
I always take the coach's side.
Here we go. Steve Marlowe has an
After
answer.
further review, the ball carrier was down with possession of the ball. However, there was a holding, number 55 offense. That penalty will be accepted. It'll be first down.
Did you improve to 2-7?
2-11.
All right, so that's a big break for Missouri.
Big break. However, they hurt themselves. They shot themselves in the foot again. With the penalty, they lose 10 more yards there.
That's true. There was a holding penalty called before what they thought was the fumble recovered by Abilene Christian.
So now you're looking at 1st and 20.
After the penalty, first down and 20.
That puts the ball at the 46-yard line of Missouri.
I don't know, my gut feeling, if I'm the D coordinator, I'm saying watch him go up top here.
Brady Cook's going to take a shot, and he just overshoots Lovett. Patrick Jolly in coverage.
Well, it's good to know I still got my coordinator gut there because they went on top. If I was them, I'd be playing cover 2, cover 3 because some told me he was going up top. Brady overthrowing it. He had him. He had him.
So 2nd and a long coming. Elijah Young in the backfield. They stack a couple of wide receivers on either side. The motion out Young. He'll take the toss and the catch. Pushes his way past the 50 into Abilene Christian territory.
Now that's a better throw than most people will see there, Courtney, because he hit him right in stride. Didn't have to wait for the ball, was able to turn up, put his foot in the ground, and get 7 yards off that.
Still a long way to go. 3rd and 13 at the 47-yard line of Abilene Christian. Empty look here.
I'm curious to see how Coach Cassidy plays it. Looks like they're going to drop 8, possibly, maybe.
Cook gets the pass off and overshoots Bannister.
He went back to his favorite dig route, overthrew him. Pocket was nice, though. Nice, clean pocket. I like that. You got to be fired up about that.
So we saw a different punter at the end of the first half. Jack Stonehouse came in to punt, and he will be back to punt again for Missouri after we saw Sean Ketting continue to struggle early in this game. He had a 53-yard punt on his first punt of this game. That's talking about Stonehouse.
Stonehouse came in and did a nice job for Sean.
That goes into the end zone for a touchback.
So look at Coach talking to him already. They want to put that thing, try to put that in what they call a coffin corner down there in the corner of the 1 or 2 yard line. You see Coach Link is talking to him. Eric Link is our special teams coach. Does a really good job Friday. I liked what his game plan was for Friday, rehearsing all the situations there.
So Missouri's first drive of the half does not result in any points. What was your biggest takeaway from their defense in the first half?
Missouri's defense, what I took away from there is they just got to get a little bit better gap sound in their defense, and they got to tackle on the perimeter.
Jeremiah Dobbins breaks a couple of tackles before he's met by Jalen Carlisle. And he pushes forward for a first down.
Nice run by Dobbins, kept his feet going. See, he's low to the ground, real low to the ground there, and kept his center of balance there.
Yeah, he's been the main back, 12 carries now for Dobbins.
There's again where the B gap is wide exposed. That was not gap sound. Coach Baker's probably going crazy over that.
Play action into the DB's hand. And it's Rakestraw. Did he come up with that? He did. It's Missouri football. McIver threw it right to him.
Enos Rakestraw, it looks like he threw it right to him, but what he did, he saw the bubble, and he attacked the inside shoulder of the receiver who was supposed to be blocking him, and came up with a great play. Great play. When I came up here this summer, here you see him coming up and through here, goes into the inside shoulder, makes the play. When I came up here and watched him this summer, this young man's coming off an ACL. We're seeing it again here. See how he fights through on that inside shoulder, and it looked like McIver was throwing it to 5 instead of to 8 there on that throw.
Yeah, only made 4 appearances last season for Missouri, talking about Rakestraw. Get the robe out. Pete with the carry, Tyron Bradley with the stop. And Missouri's got to turn this into points.
They have to. They got to come away with 3, but they want a touchdown. What I'm seeing on their blocking situations, and I'm watching more and more of it, they're not sustaining their blocks. The offensive line, tight ends, they got to run their feet upon impact.
Pistol formation with Nathaniel Pete behind Cook. Luther Burden is lined up at the top of your screen. Play action for Cook. Looking to the corner of the end zone off the outstretched fingertips of the tight end, Kibet Chepiator.
Chepiator he came over from the basketball court a couple years ago. He played basketball here. Outstanding athlete, outstanding athlete. He's got to come away with that football though. Personally, I thought Brady was right on the money with that thing.
It was Anthony Egbo Jr. in coverage. And now 3rd down from the Abilene Christian 31. Pass is complete inside the 10. It's Barrett Bannister for the 1st down.
Beautiful on-rhythm throw again. Brady's throw that he loves is that dig route, but what made it successful, we got to keep going back. I've been hard on the O-line today. That nice clean pocket, he could step in there, plenty of time to make that 15-yard dig.
They just got to be consistent with that clean pocket.
Absolutely. Are you sure you didn't coach one time?
I am pretty sure, yes. Look at this I formation here. They'll move out of it. That was the 100th career catch for Barrett Bannister on that last play. They'll send him in motion, fake it to him. Cook on the move. Got a guy, walks in, it's Nathaniel Pete. Touchdown, Missouri.
You hear the band. There's the band. Tell you what, Coach Cassidy on the one side don't like that band. Coach Sirinkowicz, he loves when the Fighting Mizzou plays.
That's our first touchdown since the 1st quarter.
Well designed. They went on Bannister like a fly sweep jet motion, and then they bootlegged out of it this time and hit Pete in the flat for the touchdown.
On comes Harrison Mevis. It's up, it's good, and Missouri has a 24-3 lead. So they take advantage of the takeaway, the big defensive play by Enos Rakestraw Jr., the interception, leading to a touchdown pass to Nathaniel Pete. A short drive, but Missouri will take it after getting the interception. Just 4 plays, 32 yards in 1:25, and Missouri with its first touchdown since the 1st quarter of this ball game. They're up 24-3 on Abilene Christian, and catching that touchdown, Nathaniel Pete. This is a local guy out of Rockbridge High School. He's their all-time leading rusher, rushed for over 4,400 yards in his career. He and Martez Manuel were high school teammates, and now Pete, after playing 3 seasons at Stanford, he is back at home playing for the Missouri Tigers.
It's awesome, isn't it? It's great to have those bonds in coaching and football, and those 2 teammates as you see there on the screen. And the thing I love about the Rockbridge Bruins, that's my daughter's alma mater.
Okay. Yeah, these 2 very excited to get back on the field together. Again, Nathaniel Pete finally healthy, a little banged up in fall camp, but he got the start today.
They went back to the run game to see how that zone situation's working out. One thing Coach Lee talked about was FSL means they put the formation into the sideline with 3 receivers and a single ring receiver to the field. And Coach Baker's doing a good job because he's going down and pressing that single receiver.
Maverick McIver trying to get a little redemption after throwing that pick on the last drive. Off play action. He'll heave it up for Catalon. Did he catch that football? He did. Kendall Catalon has been making big plays for Abilene Christian since transferring in from Arkansas.
Catalon, we've talked to the coach, if you remember, they said excellent speed, excellent eye-hand coordination, as they told us last night.
And now they go quickly here after a 30-yard pickoff, the handoff to Dobbins. Want to go back to Catalon. He's a journeyman. Started out at Southern, then played a couple seasons at Arkansas. Didn't see the field much. He only arrived with 17 career receptions, and he has gone well over that. And Steck, he's already a captain. He got to the team in July.
That shows the outstandingness of his character, because he's only been there 2 months and these kids loved him so much. And Coach said last night he was the captain by a wide margin.
Second and 7. McIver dumps it off to his big guy, Noah Caldwell. The ball came out, and it is Missouri football. Came out before Noah Caldwell was down, and the Tigers with another takeaway.
They went on a boot play there, dumped it off into the flat, and Rakestraw came in and got another takeaway.
By the defense, first down Missouri.
I think it was Chad Bailey, yeah.
Bailey recovered it, but watch right here. Watch Rakestraw come in here, hits it. No, I'm lying. You're right, I'm wrong. Bailey not only caused it, he recovered it. Rakestraw made a nice tackle on this thing. You're going to see it here coming up.
And it's Rakestraw with the tackle.
Bailey comes in, strips it, ball's out. Now that was a heck of a job by Bailey. Not only did he cause it, he recovered it.
This is a kid the coaching staff absolutely loves, talking about Chad Bailey. Blake Baker could not say good enough things about number 33, Bailey. Luther Burden in the Wildcat for the first time. And here goes Brady Cook. It works to Dominic Lovett.
Dominic Lovett, they went with the Wildcat, reverse, fly sweep, reverse pass, and back to Lovett on a throwback wheel. Excellent design there, excellent design.
Now, Eli Drinkwitz told us they wanted to get Luther Burden a little more Wildcat looks, change it up a little bit, and he's going to do it again. First time today, in back-to-back plays now, we've seen Luther Burden in the Wildcat.
Here comes the counter to him.
He keeps it an ACU there easily. Reese Young, the first to make it to Burden. Let's go back and look at that previous play.
You come back and look at this play. They throw it down the seam, leads it up the middle. You'd love for him to make that miss there. Awesome shoestring tackle there to save a touchdown.
A 25-yard pickup. Dominic Lovett has been a part of some big plays today for Missouri.
You know, Luther Burden's getting all the attention, but Lovett is really coming in his own. And did you know they're from the same high school? Coach Storkett, East St. Louis.
Dump off to Burden as Brady Cook is back.
Coach Sunkett at East St. Louis coached both those two young men. Runs a heck of a football program over in East St. Louis. And these two young guys are electrifying. Could you imagine them on the same high school team too?
Wow. Remember Luther Burden, the top wide receiver in this year's incoming recruiting class. Trying to find a balance for him has been the first 3 weeks of how much do we give the freshman? Do we put him in big situations? Do we limit his snaps? It's kind of been a balancing act because they don't want to overwhelm him.
True to the point. I was here at the first game, obviously, that we all know. And what they're doing is they just keep adding a little more and a little more and a little more to his plate.
That one out of the hands of Barrett Bannister.
That's a rare drop. That young man's got really good hands. He's Mr. I always call him Mr. Third Down. Hit him on a nice little out. That should have been an easy first down there.
So Missouri will elect to kick the field goal.
52-yarder. He's got the kind of leg that can hit this, though, Courtney.
Yeah, his career high is 56. He's one of 2 at Missouri with 6 or more kicks of 50-plus yards.
Plus, he has the wind to his back.
Now this one is no good.
That's very rare.
Well, we'll step aside. No points from Missouri on that drive. They're still up 24-3. They have a special nickname for this defense.
So Coach Drinkwitz said at halftime he wanted his defense to get some takeaways. There's been now 2 in the third quarter so far. It makes me think about my conversation with Blake Baker yesterday, the defensive coordinator for Mizzou. He said he wants his defense to have an identity everywhere he goes, and here their identity is called Death Row. The team voted on this name for their group, and so far they have 2 takeaways. 2 guys have gotten to wear the takeaway robe, so I'm sure he's pretty happy with what he's seen so far.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could make it a little sweeter, Tamara, is if they could have gotten points off of that second takeaway like they did the first one.
Absolutely. We always had an old saying, though, takeaways equal victory.
2-0 right now with the 2 takeaways, the interception and the fumble recovery. It was Jeremiah Dobbins to the ground game. What do you think? What have you seen so far from this Abilene Christian offense? What's standing out?
They're sticking to their plan, and they're doing a really nice job of their run game. Their run game is opening up gaps just on simple little zone things. They're getting a push from the interior line, and there's little seams. The backs aren't very big, but they're like quicker than a hiccup, you know, like whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, they have more rushing yards than Missouri right now, outgaining them 110-71 on the ground. 223 total yards for the Wildcats. Pass over the top, and it's complete to Kobe Clark. And that is his 3rd reception today. That puts him at 2nd all-time on the career receptions list at Abilene Christian.
It's nice moving up the ladder. I know Coach Bannon, the running back coach, you know, he is the leading receiver at Abilene Christian. So it's curious to see if he wants him to break his record or not. He'll say, stop throwing those bubble screens to him.
Well, he's got a few more to get there, 19 more catches to tie for first. Pass complete to Jeremiah Dobbins.
Nice job, Bailey in the flat, man-to-man. Throws a little screen pass, he comes over, makes it, but it's a gain of 7. They got to eliminate those little bubble passes down to 5 yards. Real good manageable situation here.
Interesting that we have not seen Rovan Banks in this game at all. He had the most carries coming into today, but it's been Jeremiah Dobbins and Malachi Medlock. This is Dobbins. Drop for a loss on the play. Loss of 2, stopped by Daniel Robledo and also Tyron Hopper.
I think Coach Baker said, okay, enough is enough. We talked about him as, they call him 5-5-1 blitzes, okay? 5 guys rushing, 5 guys playing man, and 1 guy in the post. So he said, you know what, I'm gonna go sick him on this one.
3rd and 5. Abilene Christian today 2 for 9 on 3rd down.
Unless they trade the formation, they're staying in an unbalanced set here right now on 3rd and 3. Look for a quick slant.
Guy in motion is Colt Cooper. McIver lets it fly to Dobbins, his back, and he is immediately met by Dalen Carnell.
Carnell on that place, he watch him puts his foot in the ground. Look at that vision break, and the thing I love about that, look at him wrap up. It's almost like he's trying to wrestle a steer there. With
Do you have a lot of experience doing that, Coach?
No. I'm a city boy. I just watch it on TV.
So a big stop there by Dalen Carnell. And that'll force the Abilene Christian punt. Logan Burke. Fair catch called for.
Fair catch by Burden.
That was really good there, Courtney, because he put his heels on the 8 and never backed up.
Well, we told you about Brady Cook being a local guy. Well, his family owns a local barbecue joint, so I had to go check it out. I got the brisket sandwich, and I got to tell you, Brady Cook's family, they got some good barbecue over there.
That really looks good. I want to know, number one, why I wasn't invited, and number two, you'll get anything for free, won't you, young lady?
Oh, hey, come on, Coach. First of all, you're always invited. They actually did a special when he was named the starting quarterback, QB1 nachos for week 1. Uh-oh. Fumble into the end zone. And recovered by Abilene Christian.
Abilene Christian.
David Oki recovers it for a touchdown.
Fumble recovery in the end zone.
You're talking about eating. That D-line just ate up Brady Cook there on the 2-yard line and got ballywaggled, and the ball came out. Here's the replay. See they move the line movement. Number 98 comes up the middle. They sandwich him in there, and the ball comes out.
I think it was Alexander Duke that recovered it in the end zone. David Oki was the one that tackled Brady Cook.
Looks like Tollison and Griffin tangled their feet up there on that one. Not what, talking about food there,
yeah.
That's not the right recipe.
No, the wrong team eating.
Yes.
If you're Missouri. So the extra point is up and good.
Abilene Christian 10.
A disastrous play for Missouri ends in a touchdown for Abilene Christian.
As you see this coming around the edge, there's Pop coming in, they sandwich him, ball comes out. Nice hustle up onto the football. Defensive lineman's dream there, Alexander Duke.
Duke, a senior for this Abilene Christian team, transferred in from Houston. And you see Brady Cook is heading into the medical tent for Missouri. We'll try to keep an
Number
eye
4
on
for
him.
Missouri is now wearing number 98.
He's sitting there waiting. He doesn't look like he wants to go in there.
Oh, it looks like they're wrapping his knee up. We're being told there's some blood on his knee, so they're just wrapping that up.
Okay,
and he's going to be good to go.
They're just tying his shoe there or something.
Yeah. So, wow.
Turn of events here. What they need to do now is settle down, take a deep breath. They need to go on a drive. They need to get a confidence boost here, A, going into the fourth quarter, and then B, Courtney, they need a confidence boost going in because they got to go down to Auburn next week. I know Auburn's got a big game with Penn State this weekend, this afternoon, so it's going to be curious to see what happens.
Yeah, this has been a big game for Missouri in order to shake off last week and get ready for SEC play next week, but there still have been a lot of miscues, a lot of mistakes.
There has been a lot of things to clean up as a coach. You know, and I've been biting my tongue to say this. However, sometimes no matter how much a coach preaches, you know, a BCS team looks over at an FCS team and says, hey, we're a little better than them. They're FCS. Well, guess what? They're a pretty good football team. And you see the upcoming schedule here with Auburn, Georgia, and Florida. So they need a lot to clean up real quick.
And they were hoping this would be the game to do that after a 40-12 loss to K-State last week.
There's a lot of good things that they're doing, though. That's the amazing thing. They got to here's the word they need: consistency.
Big run, Schrader.
Number 20.
Like right there, consistency. They're doing a lot of good things out there. They ran the split zone / away play. Schrader comes back to the B gap, puts his foot in the ground. Big game.
Yeah, that's a 20-yard pickup. Consistency starting with the offensive line.
With everybody.
Back to the ground. Back to Schrader. Flag is out as Schrader tumbles forward for the first down, but we'll see what the penalty is. Stopped by Elijah Moffitt.
Another nice hole again. Nice job of him cutting back and in the same.
Offense number 51, 10-yard penalty, first down.
I think
that's why there was a big hole.
Yeah.
There's a big hole because there was a big holding penalty.
Is that the third holding penalty, I think, for Missouri today?
But who's counting?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Now they're going to go back to where they were before, and 1st and 20 here. Consistency.
1st and 16 at the 30-minute.
This will be 1st and 16 out of the pistol Elijah Young. And maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
What they're doing, Courtney, is they're giving the Wildcats some breath and some life over here. They get the touchdown. They come out with 2 big plays. Now they're on the holding call. They ran the bounce to the outside zone, and the linebackers in the secondary were flying to that football.
So now you got 2nd and long.
It's hard to dial plays when it's 2nd and long.
Ball's at the 39. Cook to Luther Burden. That will be short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 2 coming up.
Nice hand-eye coordination there by Luther. The corner played soft. Okay, coach told us the other day it's called an access route. Corners off soft. They run a little out there. Nice completion.
Burden with his 4th reception of the day, 23 yards. He did have the 78-yard punt return for a touchdown to start the game. And Brady Cook's going to keep it. He's got some field, too. Made one guy miss, and finally Reese Young got there to stop him, but a huge gain. Brady Cook using his feet takes it inside the 20.
Nice job. Do you remember back in the first half when I said I wish he had that back because he didn't pull the football and handed it off, and they got stuffed on the short yardage play? Here, he learned from his mistake, kept the ball in the zone read. Nice job. Got a little bit of speed there, too.
Yeah, 29-yard pickup. Schrader's turn. Gain of 2 on the play. Tackle by Anthony Egbo Jr.
Egbo, I like this kid. He's versatile. He's versatile. We were talking to coaches. They were calling him Mr. ACU.
Yes.
He could be like the mayor. He might be the president of that university someday. Well known on campus, but he also backs it up with his play on the field. He's quick. He also goes in their nickel spot. Nice tackle.
Yep, vice president of their student athlete committee, the SAC group. Elijah Young on the run. Stopped by Tristan Anderson.
The thing I'm liking about the secondary for Coach Patterson is they're doing a really nice job of wrapping up and making tackles on the back end. That might not sound like a lot as a common term, but sometimes those defensive backs, they don't like to tackle. You know, they like to cover guys and make interceptions. They're doing a nice job of tackling. They're taking on the characteristic of their coach.
Yeah, new philosophy for those DBs, those guys back there for ACU. Pass complete. Dominic Lovett stretching out for the touchdown.
Listen up, here comes the band.
Lovett's 2nd touchdown of the day. This one for 13 yards.
Nice timing route there. One with the play action, hit the slant. The receiver was playing outside leverage. What that does is when he hits that slant move inside, it makes a nice big window for Brady to hit it.
Harrison Mevis up and good, 31-10, and a pretty good response after a disastrous play from Missouri where the ball was fumbled. Abilene Christian recovered it in the end zone. They come back and drive down and score a touchdown.
Absolutely. We said there's a lot of good things happening in this football game. That was terrible back in the end zone. We come back down here. Here's the drop back. There's the slant. Outside leverage by the Wildcat. Brady recognizes it, throws it on the money. Lovett looks it into his hands. Boom. Extends across, gets the touchdown, and then the band plays.
Dominic Lovett with his first 2 touchdown catches of the season. And a quick hug in the stands.
What they need now, Courtney, in my humbled opinion, very good job answered by the offense. Now they got to kick this ball off.
Number 4 for Missouri is now wearing number 98.
And defense got to go 3 and out.
Yes.
They got to get 3 and out, get the ball back. And on the flip side of that, they got to get a drive from the Wildcats here.
Davion Johnson is back to field this kick for Abilene Christian. And it drops back into the end zone. Well, it's never too early to look ahead to upcoming college football seasons. We will have our SEC Now football schedule released special for the 2023 season Tuesday night at 7 Eastern. We'll break down each school, look at the best games for next year. You can always watch it on the ESPN app from anywhere. We haven't even gotten to SEC play yet this year.
We
will see a few games today.
There are some games today. I happen to peek up there at the big screen. I saw Georgia, I think, is spanking South Carolina right now as we talk. You know, it's fun being up here in the box, Courtney, because I talk about what Mizzou got to do, but then I just switch my hat around and I say what Abilene Christian has to do.
Yeah. Jeremiah Dobbins back to the line of scrimmage.
Nice job by the front there. Jeff Cote and Robinson, they're going to take that into the end of the quarter there. A nice job putting them in second and long situation.
That is the end of the third quarter. Missouri with 14 points in this third quarter. Abilene Christian with 7, but Tigers on top 31-10 as we head to the fourth. Back here in the fourth quarter in Columbia, Missouri on top of Abilene Christian 31-10. And it'll be 2nd and 10 coming up for the Wildcats. They stick back to the ground, Jeremiah Dobbins.
Jeremiah Dobbins, the ball carrier.
And they've rushed for over 108 yards in this game. Martez Manuel on the stop. Here's our game summary. It started off with an explosive play. I mean, Luther Burden with that 78-yard punt return for a touchdown. But, Coach, you said it. We've seen some good, but we've also seen some really bad from Missouri.
We've seen both. What they have to do now in this fourth quarter is do their best to polish it all up, getting ready for SEC play, and get consistency. I think that's the word that coaches are going to be preaching this week.
McIver to the air and overthrows his target of Blaine Taylor.
That was one of the first passes that didn't look very good coming out of his hand. I don't think, going back to your food menu choices there, the recipe on that play, another 3 and out. They're putting the ball back to Mizzou here. I don't think Coach Patterson wanted that right now.
Luther Burden.
Logan Burke on to punt. Luther Burden back for Mizzou. He's going to let it go. This one takes a Missouri bounce, and it's fielded just inside the 40-yard line. Well, for this Missouri team, there is a player on the sidelines that is so key for them. And you see him there, Chance Looper, not dressed. He has been out with an illness, was hospitalized with that illness. They expect him to be out 6 to 8 weeks, but this is the first week he's been back at practice, just being around his teammates. And I know that means a lot to him and his family.
It's uplifting for him. And you talk about his family. His father's the running back coach, Curtis Looper, who's a really fine football coach and actually a friend of mine. And it's a tough situation with the family. But let me tell you a quick story about Luther that coach told me about him. All right? When he was a little kid, him and Coach Chiswick, who was the D coordinator at the time at Auburn, they were coaching at Auburn, and Chance and Coach Chiswick's son kept showing up at practice. So Curtis Looper goes home and asks the wife, well, why does he keep showing up at practice? Why do you keep dropping off ice? He goes, I didn't know where he was going. I thought you were picking him up at school. They were talking the bus driver to drop them off at practice, and there's Coach Looper there. He's probably talking like that to his son, going, what are you doing at practice again, man? The bus driver. These two young kids were talking to the bus driver. It shows you they love football. I love coaches' kids because they're like gym rats.
This pass complete by Brady Cook out to Barrett Bannister. But yeah, it's just good to see Chance Looper back on the sidelines. Still a longer time frame to get him back on the field, but we are thinking about him as he is recovering, and him, especially his family. I know Brady Cook's his roommate, so they're very close bond there.
And I will say this, I came in, watched practice this summer. Coach Drinkwitz was nice enough to open the door, and Looper was having a heck of a summer camp. He was really progressing, and now he has this setback. But you know what? God's got a plan. He'll overcome it.
certainly can't wait to see that young man back out on the field.
Plus, it must be a lot of fun coaching your son.
Oh, I bet.
You know, a lot of fun coaching your son.
Very special.
And it's really special that he's going through this and his dad's here to support him.
Michael Cox is the running back, and they will give it to him. Picks up a yard on the play to the 45 before Abner Dubar got there, the transfer from Minnesota.
Michael Cox doesn't get a whole lot of reps, but he was like their fire plug in the Army game last season. He's their short yardage guy, tough and physical runner.
Originally a walk-on. His first career carry was for 55 yards last season. They'll rotate out, and they'll rotate B.J. Harrison, the sophomore out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Over the top goes Brady Cook, and that pass complete to Barrett Bannister.
First down, MIZ.
Seems like every time Bannister touches the football, nice pocket here. Brady steps up, throws another dig route. Bannister's the guy, you know, I call him Mr. Third Down. He might be just called Move the Chains.
Yes.
This guy just catches
Mr.
the ball.
First Down?
Maybe Mr. First Down.
Meaning you get the first down?
He'd probably like if we called him Mr. Touchdown.
Yes.
Number 4, Elijah Young, the ball carrier.
Nice job there by Kirby Coley. Scrapes up over top, number 46 here. You see him on your screen. Comes over top, fills the hole, wraps up. Nice little job, gain at 0.
Missouri taking their time. Connection to Luther Burden for the first down to the 22.
Number 3, Luther Burden.
They're going to keep throwing that dig route until Abilene Christian stops it. This time they came for the dig route from the left side instead of the right side.
And space for Elijah Young. There's a flag out as Young makes his way into the end zone, but we'll see what the penalty is. Dropped at about the 12-yard line is that flag.
It's probably going to be a hold, but this time it looks like it's
Holding. Offense number 11. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And that's on Barrett Bannister.
This time it was on the perimeter. Saw that thing come off on the sideline. It looked like really blocking as a defensive back tried to separate. Bannister grabbed and gave him a little tug. You know, we were just talking about Bannister's good hands. All right, you see here on that cover, here's 11. There's the little hand. See the left hand come inside and give that little pull and tug. He has good hands catching the ball, and he has good hands on the hold.
So there goes the 22-yard touchdown run from Elijah Young on the holding call.
Penalties drive coaches crazy, Courtney.
Number 4, Elijah Young, the ball carrier.
That carry by Young for a loss of 4 is Torrey Hargrove. One of the most experienced guys on this Abilene Christian defense. He kind of sets the tone for their defense. He made the stop.
Yeah, Hargrove, he's my guy there. He's a thumper. He's the Sam. He plays in the Sam linebacker position for those guys. He gets subbed out in that pass package, though.
2nd and 14. This will be the 9th play of the drive for Mizzou. Connection to Burden. To the 19.
Number 3, Luther Burden.
That's the access route that coach was talking about. Corners playing off. They roll to a 3-deep zone and hit a nice little semi-slant half dig over there just to throw it to him, hope make someone miss.
That's the 5th catch for Burden today. 3rd and 7. Love it. Tried to shake off a defender, but there were more purple jerseys headed his way. Anthony Agbo Jr., Elijah Moffitt, all in there.
That was nice pursuit. That he caught that bubble screen and started to turn up, and then that was like flies on a Jew bug. They were all over him, man, just whoosh. That's great pursuit.
It's a heck of a visual, Steck.
I'm just trying to help the fans out there to see what it's about.
This will be a 39-yard field goal from Harrison Mevis. And he missed it.
39-yard field goal attempt is no good.
He has been so good in his career inside 40 yards, but a couple of misses today. The other miss from 50 plus.
Very, very rare from him. You know, you can see his body language right there. It looks like a nice hole snap. Disappointing.
8 minutes, 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter here. Missouri up 31-10 over Abilene Christian, and the Wildcats going back on offense here. Maverick McIver today, 14 of 25, 135 yards. They have 243 yards of total offense compared to 429 of Mizzou. And they'll immediately go to the air. The pass incomplete to Blaine Taylor. You know, looking at this roster that Keith Patterson has put together, it's incredible. He came in, realized what direction he wanted to take the program in, and went out and added 32 transfers, added over 40 players to the roster.
He did, and that takes a lot of patience. They've done a lot of team bonding, but he's stuck to his guns. You know, he's from Marlow, Oklahoma, where there's a lot of great people and athletes come out of Marlow, Oklahoma. But what he wants to establish is still, you know, attention to detail, discipline, toughness. And you see that with his players constantly pursuing to the football, blocking, staying on blocks. You know, he's so proud of Marlow, Oklahoma, and rightfully so. Marlow, Oklahoma should be proud of what Coach Patterson is building here.
That pass complete to Kendall Catalong, and it brings up third down. Yeah, 19 of those transfers coming from FBS programs, and they show up on the two deep. So reloading with a lot of talent for this FCS Abilene Christian team. Started the season 2-0 for the first time since 2013. Almost intercepted by Jelani Williams. Had it in his hands. The pass was intended for Kobe Clark, but it was high up above his head.
Good call by Coach Lee. Comes out here on the run, overthrows it. He's got to look that ball in his hand. I used to always tell the players, Courtney, you catch the ball with your eyes. You got to look that right into your hands. And what he did was his eyes peeked up to the end zone because he was looking for a pick six.
So Missouri's defense forces the 3 and out, brings on Logan Burke and the punt team. Luther Burden is back. And Missouri on that last drive almost had their third takeaway of the game. Jelani Williams just off his fingertips. We'll see that Missouri offense come back on the field. Well, we were telling you about Keith Patterson, the new head coach of Abilene Christian. He spent the last 3 seasons as the defensive coordinator at Texas Tech under Matt Wells. And we mentioned all those transfers. Well, he said, look, we got to get their chemistry right. So they did something called Camp T. Now, it's named after Chris Thompson, who's at Florida State, and actually called Abilene Christian and told them to go get Keith Patterson as their head coach. But he thought it was really important for them to build that chemistry so when adversity hits on the field during the season, they know each other.
Absolutely. They're trying to, what they're doing is building a brotherhood. And one of his comments was, I have these transfers, we have to gel as a team, we have to gel fast. And the thing that I like about what he said is they continue to do it as the season goes on, one every other week. So it's not like, okay, let's do this camp and forget about it. They continue to keep building the team and getting a bond going so that they have this Wildcat brotherhood.
Yeah, with 32 transfers, you got to get guys to learn each other, learn who they are, learn their background. And know, KP as they call him. He's focused a lot on the mental side of things for this group, and he's trusted his staff to handle the rest.
He has. And the thing he did about those transfers, that he made a comment to me last night to us, was we had to get old fast. So that's why he went out and got these transferred kids.
Michael Cox up the middle for Missouri. Still going. He's got a great push to the 48-yard line.
That was a really nice push. That play ended up on looking like a rugby scrum.
Yeah.
I saw they made a replacement there in the guard position with Walters at number 75 there. I think he's playing the left guard position. No, he's playing the right guard position. And Ogar, number 70, is playing the left guard position. So they rotated those two guards out.
Now, Drinkowitz has been challenging those interior offensive linemen. Flags down on the run by Michael Cox.
That's got to make you crazy.
Holding, offense number 70, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, the young guy comes in, number 70, gets his chance, and he gets a holding penalty.
EJ Doma Ogar.
It makes coaches crazy with penalties. You see here, he comes off the side, got the bounce up side, as it makes a little stick move inside, and he wraps him with the hand.
It's going to bring up 1st and 20.
You've been calling that a lot today, Courtney.
Not what either of these teams want. Cook in trouble. Tucks it and gets taken down from behind. It was Jordan Pop, the Nebraska transfer.
Jordan Pop has a high motor. He comes off the ball here. He's running in, makes a spin move up inside, but watch him pursuit and continue to come after him and wrap up the quarterback. High motor, high energy guy on that defensive line.
Cook in trouble again. Has to move. On his feet still, will not get the first down. Takes it to the 45 of Abilene Christian. They need 3 more yards.
That's why I watch Brady's competitive spirit here. Eludes the rush, tucks it down, running with the football. Instead of sliding down there, he keeps going forward with it.
Now there's a player down. It's Abner Dubar, number 3 in purple. They'll take a look at Dubar, and we will step aside. Abner Dubar is up for Abilene Christian. They've given him some liquids. Got a Gatorade shaken up, assuming what it looked like. It looked like a cramp, so they've got a little Gatorade, little water, and he's up on his own, walked off on his own power, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's hot out there, especially the turf. It probably magnifies the heat, obviously.
3rd and 3 for Brady Cook in Missouri. And they will pick up that first down. The pass complete to Barrett Bannister.
Oh, Mr. Third Down. Quick little.
Getting a first down.
Mr. Third Down got the first down. Nice little, I call it a goal route. They took the outside receiver and ran him vertical and just ran him on a little flat route to the boundary.
Pickup of 4 on the play. It takes the ball to the 41-yard line. B.J. Harris on the carry.
That's one of the few plays there, Courtney, where my man Bradley, who I think the world of number 0 for the Wildcats, he couldn't tackle number 0 for the Tigers. Those 2 zeros right there matched up, and old B.J. Harris got the better of him on that one. He had him dead to rights in the hole.
Yeah, Tyron Bradley, number purple and 0. He has been really good for Abilene Christian today. But Missouri getting the advantage on that play. Pickup of 1 by Harris, stopped by Ethan Tate.
Penetration there in the C gap. Tyler Stevens needed to make that cutoff block on Pop. Pop didn't make the tackle, but he got penetration on field, which slowed down BJ and let the rest of the pursuit get there to him. 3rd and 3, I'm betting money on Bannister. What about you?
He's a pretty good weapon We have seen that today. They've used him in multiple ways. I don't see him out there, though. Maybe it was intended for Bannister.
I thought he was. It was overthrown,
Yeah.
but it looked like the receiver, the defensive back, in my opinion, got there a little bit too fast.
So Harrison Mevis is coming out to attempt the field goal. He has missed twice today. It's the first time in his career that he has missed 2 field goals in a game.
Very shocking to me. The thicker kicker is usually pretty good on with the money, and he has missed 2. He's getting ready to boot about a 51-yarder now.
Yeah, 52.
52?
That's what they'll say.
Okay, then I'll say that too.
Yeah. And this one is good.
Awesome. He got that monkey off the back quick. Follow through, nice kick, goes up through the uprights. You love it when the officials gives that signal for a touchdown.
Minutes, 31 seconds remaining. Missouri gets a 52-yard field goal from Harrison Mevis, and it's his 7th career 50-plus yard field goal. It's a Missouri record.
That young man has a very powerful leg, and I'm curious. I would love to talk to Drink again because he doesn't kick off. He has the range and the leg to be a NFL field goal kicker. But with that said, he's got to be able to kick off.
Ketting handling the kickoff duties. Want to remind you our SEC football lineup rolling on later today, coming up at 4 Eastern, so in about an hour. Alabama, Louisiana, Monroe, Tennessee and Akron, Arkansas, Missouri State. And then later tonight at 7:30, it's Florida and USF coming up on the SEC Network. And of course, you can see those games on the ESPN app. So Abilene Christian, 248 total yards. They've rushed for 108 yards today and flagged down on this near side.
Number 21, Jeremiah Dobbins.
Came out very early. I'd be willing to bet it's probably illegal formation. Or someone in the neutral zone.
In on the stop for the Tigers, number 90, Josh Landry.
Illegal formation. More than 4 players in the backfield. Offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Steck, looking at this Missouri team, we heard Eli Drinkwitz. He told us, also his defensive coordinator
Correction.
told us.
That penalty will be declined. Second down.
We're trying to get all 11 guys on the same page. Get that consistency. Where did you see in that area today?
That's the key word, consistency. When they are all 11 on the same page, whether it's a run or a pass or playing defensive, hitting your gaps, taking your angles, this is a very good football team. What they have to do is do the consistency. Like, for example, right there, 3 guys right at the point of attack swarming, and they miss the tackle. Gets out, gets a big gain here for 8 yards.
Clock will keep on running after the gain by Jeremiah Dobbins.
Third down.
3rd and 5.
At the 30-yard line.
3rd and 5 situations. Coach Lee's been popping little runs on them. There's the bunch. I'm looking for a run versus bubble here.
Maverick McIver on the move. Falls forward just enough for that first down. That'll move the chains.
Nice decision by McIver there. But the thing I'm talking about, if you went back and we'll always look at the entire play, they had a play call that he checked him out of it, got the back over for protection. Protection broke down, but he did a nice job of scrambling, getting the first down.
Pass complete to Kendall Catalan. Flag in the backfield. I think McIver was hit late.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. 55 defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's Arden Walker.
Arden Walker's this young man's gonna be a really good football player. Got good twitch. He comes up off the line of scrimmage. Look at him bend, accelerate to the quarterback. Stop there. No need. No need. That's a young rookie mistake. I think one thing at the end of the day, what's going to happen here is coach is going to really be disappointed with the penalties. You know, you can coach all those other things, but penalty-wise, that's player discipline. Player discipline.
Pass complete. It is caught by Blaine Taylor. An explosive play for Abilene Christian.
The corner just got beat. I got to tell you, it used to infuriate me as a defensive coordinator. The defense is playing a good game as far as points allowed. They only have 10 points out there. And it's their obligation as a 2. You want to be a 2, you want to be a 1? Well, when you go out there on the football field, you got to play like the 1 did. Foolish mistake there. Got beat on a double move, up over top. Nice throw, but MacGyver.
Extra point is good. Blaine Taylor with the touchdown from Maverick MacGyver, a 49-yard strike.
See the protection, little play action, little double move, goes in, looks it into his hands, locks it away, and gets in for the touchdown. DJ Jackson.
He does a good job of staying in bounds on that play.
Now, the positive side of that with DJ is he's a good coachable moment they're going to have with the coaches. You get in the video room, and what you need to do as a player is go into the video room, listen to what your coach is saying, then go back out on the field and try to master those fundamentals. Coach Drinkwitz has a really good coaching staff. You saw that at practice. They're all out there coaching. They're teaching fundamentals. It's the responsibility of the players to grasp those fundamentals and excel at them. And then on the flip side of it, they're showing that guy Keith Patterson right now from our Marlow, Oklahoma. His kids are not quitting. They're still fighting. They're still getting after it. And I appreciate that in them.
Let me ask you this, Steck. You called Missouri's game week 1. Are you seeing improvement?
That's a loaded question for me here. I'm not sure.
Timeout, Missouri. The first of the half. 30-second timeout.
There's so many flashes I see where I can look you in the eye and say, yes, absolutely, they are. And then I see some times going, that's not very good.
So the consistency's not there.
And that's my big word. If I'm Coach Drinkwitz, which I'm not, but
number
I'm going
one for Missouri is now wearing number 47.
I'm going into that team meeting, and that's going to be all over the walls this week is consistency. And I would show the players, I would break this video up from the standpoint of and show them all the good plays. As, men, you can do it, you know? We used to put video on there and say the bad, the good, and the ugly. But we always end it with the good. Here's what you're capable of doing. Be consistent and do it all the time. And I think they're going to have a very bright future.
What do you think the best thing that you've seen from Missouri is today?
I'm sorry?
The best thing you've seen from Missouri. What was that today?
I think that the best thing I've seen from Missouri is that they went out to every drive, whether it was good or bad, and competed. So when you have a team, and that's a reflection of the coach, Eli has them competing. That's a great sign. So if you compete and you're consistent, you could have positive dividends at the end.
I think positive, too, is that they did get off to a fast start with that punt return for a touchdown.
They did. And that's, you know, talking to Coach Blake early in the game, Coach Baker does a great job. He said, we got to start fast. They went 2 3 and outs. They're not finishing up strong here.
Well, tonight, SEC football final back for another season with Dari, Chris, Benjamin, and Takio. They'll take you through the biggest stories of the day, break it all down, 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. So Jack Abraham will come out at quarterback here for Missouri. Minute 33 on the clock. They're hoping just to eat this up, walk away with the win. Abraham, a veteran guy, his 7th year of college football, played 3 seasons in community college. And they'll hand the ball off. That's Tavoris Jones on the carry.
It's awesome. Some of these young players get some playing time out there. You mentioned 7 years of college. You know, you might be too young, but I remember old Animal House.
Yeah.
You know, and Belushi gives you the old 7 years of college down the drain.
Well, hey.
But he's a
it's
graduate working
now.
on his master's, though.
Yeah, in that COVID year, we've got some 7th year guys in college football.
But old Abraham, he's already a graduate. He's working on his master's. He's married, and he's having a successful run.
Jones again. Clock will keep on running. Missouri's got couple of tough tests coming up. They're going to travel to Auburn next week to open up SEC play. Then they'll host Georgia on October 1st, a Georgia team who is thumping South Carolina right now.
They are beating South Carolina like an Army pack mule right now. I'll tell you what, that was disappointing to see, and I think Coach Beamer's a heck of a ball coach. But you got to go into Auburn. It's going to be curious this afternoon to see how Auburn and Penn State match up.
The first time ever a Big Ten school is coming to play at Auburn, I think.
Is that right?
I heard, yeah.
There's a little trivia. I got to tell you, I go way back with James Franklin. We're friends from back in the old days, and here's why. His first coaching job ever was he was a wide receiver coach at Kutztown University. Back in the day, it was Kutztown State College. You know how I know that? I'm an alumnus of Kutztown State College.
Well, there you go.
So there you go. The old shout out to the Golden Bears with 16 seconds on the clock.
And that's going to wrap this up for Missouri. A 34-17 win for the Tigers, and now they look towards SEC play.
They got to go in that locker room. They got to flip the switch and get ready to go down to Auburn in a hostile environment. They're going from Wildcats to Tigers. So it's going to be interesting to see how they rebound. And in my opinion, Courtney, if they get consistent with their good plays, they're going to have a heck of a season.
And we'll see if they can do that moving forward. A lot of inconsistency still today for Missouri. We did see some bright spots, some explosive plays, which you know Coach Strink will love. That 78-yard punt return for a touchdown, a 79-yard touchdown pass to Dominic Lovett, who had a great game for Missouri in the receiving end. 7 catches, 132 yards for Lovett.
Lovett's a dynamic receiver, very good football player, and he's got speed, he's got quickness, and the thing about Brady, he's spreading the ball around. The one thing I like to see Brady do a little bit is third down, they're going to be drawing a big circle around Bannister. So what we got to do is spread that ball around to some different players like he does on first and second down to get that thing going and break a little tendency there.
What did you think about how they used Luther Burden today?
It was awesome. Punt return, kickoff, Wildcat, everything else, it was awesome.
All right, let's head down to the field to Tamara. She's standing
Coach,
by
you
with
said
Eli.
at the half you wanted your defense to get some takeaways. They came right out and did that. Can you talk about their performance today?
Yeah, they did a really nice job. Golly, I hate that we gave them a touchdown on a fumble, but 2 turnovers right there in the third quarter were pivotal. Ennis Rakestraw played really well.
When we talked to you before the game, you said you wanted your team to get back to the DNA, executing and playing fast. Did you see more of that today?
I mean, in spurts, it wasn't nearly clear enough, but we won, and that's exactly what you want out of these games, get a win, and we'll go back to work tomorrow.
Congrats, Coach.
MIZ.
And Missouri victorious today, their second win of the season, 34-17. And coming up next for Missouri, they are going to Auburn next week. September 24th, they will open up SEC play. But Brady Cook, the Missouri Tigers, getting it done today. Little lunchtime football in Como and a win for Mizzou. Final score, 34-17. Missouri defeats Abilene Christian.